Hello, hello, Danger Noodles. It is I, the Great Dr. Bright, here with a Jiri and Hatchet.
Hey.
I will make you dance, meat puppet! You're a joke to me!
Do you still have that site up so you can just read that?
Yeah, I brought it up literally just so I could quote it at the start of your stream.
Oh my god.
Well, you have to admit that character is hilarious, and there's no way for him to not be hilarious.
Yeah.
I will also mention that there's now spit on my screen.
Anyways, the first SCP of the night is one we skipped last time because it was so long. But since I have to stay up all night, there's no, limit to how long I will be streaming. So, I'll be
Yeah.
reading this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Void Sanctuary, aka item SCP-2470. Object Class Keter. Special containment procedures. To facilitate containment, Area 141 has been established at the site of discovery due to the extremely hazardous nature of 2470, as well as the potential threat from pro-apocalyptic religious mystical movements and sects. On-site personnel are responsible for both containing the object and protecting Area 141 from any and all outside threats. Containment Zone Structure. The central containment volume of Area 141 headquarters is a hyperboloid-shaped room with a lower base diameter of 55 meters, upper base diameter of 42 meters, and 36 meters in height. Walls and floor structures are doubled. The outer walls, no less than 4.5 meters thick, are made of high-density pre-stressed concrete. The inner ones, 1.5 meters thick, are made of special adamant brand high alloy steel produced by Plant 45. The containment volume is fitted with two sets of service interest airlocks with class. Is that 5 or 6?
That's 6.
6. Okay, I'm not good with Roman numerals, thank you. Class 6 explosion resistance blast doors and an additional emergency quick hardening compound sealing system. In the center of the containment volume, there are two concentric icosahedron shaped shells, polyhedron with 20 faces, installed with diameters of their circumspheres being 8 and 12 meters respectively. The shells are supported by a two-spool suspension system and are additionally surrounded by a Faraday cage made of superconducting cable with cells no larger than 5 centimeters across. High vacuum inside the shells and the containment volume is maintained by two main and 6 backup heavy-duty turbomolecular pumps. The space between the inner and outer walls of the containment volume acts as a for for evacuum space.
The- Uh,
Sorry.
have you never seen the word vacuum?
Well, it says oh, so it's for vacuum.
Yes!
Oh.
For evacuum.
Just remember, this is the same person who can pronounce ancient Hawaiian weapons.
Anyways, it is pumped by 4 main and 4 reserve rotary rotary uh, vein pumps, which are capable of operating in an accelerated mode for no less than 1 hour. Pumps
Are
are to
you
be.
trying?
Huh?
Are you trying to make me pissed?
What?
Rotary?
Shut
Uh,
up. Pumps are to be checked for serviceability on a weekly basis. Preventive replacements and scheduled maintenance are to be conducted every 2 months. Area 141's electric power supply consists of no fewer than 2 independent external sources and 2 main and reserve standalone power systems with at least 100% margin of capacity each. The central shells are identical in structure except for respective dimensions, and both are constructed of 20 triangular titanium plates 1.5 centimeters thick, mounted on a steel skeleton and adjusted to minimize gap size along matching edges. One of the plates of each shell is to be mounted on a guide rail serving as an access port, which can only be opened from the outside. The frames in question are to be connected to a stabilized voltage supply, maintaining a potential difference of 120 volts across the structure. The inner surfaces of the shells are covered with luminophore compounds that radiate when conducting electricity and produce afterglow for 20 minutes in case of power failure. The luminophores are of different colors, make up an image, a medically active visual representation of the so-called someone say the German word.
Which word?
That one.
Weibschatten?
Just like, why was shitting?
Weibschatten! That's my best guess.
Is that supposed to be a bee or?
I don't fucking know. It looks like a bee, so I assumed it's a bee. It's just a special bee.
Yeah, the one thing that makes me annoyed is the line is so close to touching, but it's not.
Anyway.
I'm gonna go with Hatchet. It's Weibschatten's imperceivable exponential paradox that irreversibly destroys general perception processes upon being perceived. Another board with the same image is located behind the outer shell access hatch, placed in such a way so as to obstruct the view of the region within 3 meters of the shell's geometric center. Should the outer shell access hatch be opened while the inner shell is compromised, shell integrity checkup is being conducted at least once every 2 weeks. Inside the containment volume, the following objects are also situated: 2 spontaneous decoherence generators, destruction of the phenomenons of quantum entanglement, 3 zero veil generators, a codename used as a means of suppression of redacted, a telepathy suppression device created using SCP Redacted. It is essential to maintain a full stock of an aforementioned devices. In case stock supplies diminish, replacement devices are to be manufactured by the Foundation's corresponding facilities upon first request. As soon as possible and within the highest priority, the operation procedures are explained in the corresponding manuals attached therein. Alright. Work regulations in the containment area. All work inside the containment volume are carried out by groups of no fewer than 3 grade 4 engineers who receive appropriate training and pass qualifying examination. Any works that have been performed outside the central shells are to be conducted preferably using robots controlled remotely via a fiber optic cable. In case human intervention is necessary, personnel must operate wearing full body suits with fiber optic communication. All types of wireless devices are forbidden to be handled and or used inside the containment volume. Internal examination of the central shells is conducted only by people wearing special descendants full-body suits. The suits includes a Weibschatten's paradox memetic agent displaying system with 100% external area coverage, a spectrum correcting suit built into the HUD. Said suit is attuned to wavelengths the luminophore compound cells radiate in and makes the memetic agent safe for perception by suppressing specific colors. A spatial image filtration system with high precision inertial control that blocks the view of the area within 3 meters of the shell's geometrical electrical center, a chronometer with voice countdown for preset periods. Any forms of interaction between the personnel inside and outside the shells are forbidden. Staff members inside the shells communicate between each other using a set of hand signals. The procedure of planned internal examination of the shells is performed along the following steps. 1. Synchronizing chronometers may be done immediately before entering the containment volume. 2. Inertial control system calibration. It is to be done right in front of the external shell's hatch to avoid error accumulation. 3. Activating image filtration system, switching on the mimetic agent display. 4. Opening the external shell's hatch, starting 35-minute countdown. 2 employees enter the external shell. The third one stays outside and locks the hatch behind them. 5. One of the incomers examines the inner surface of the external shell for any integrity violations. The second examines the outer surface of the inner shell. Regulated procedure time 15 minutes. After finishing procedure 5, the employees considering the time left make a decision on entering the inner shell in case a negative decision is reached. See number 10 in case of a positive decision. Number 7. Opening the hatch of the inner shell, starting the 15-minute cooldown. One of the employees enters the inner shell, the other remains inside the external shell and locks the hatch from the outside. Number 8. Examination of the inner surface by the incomer is essential to avoid any contact with the area within 3 meters of the geometrical center during the examination. Regulated procedure time 15 minutes. Number 9. Regardless of the outcome of Procedure 8, when finishing the 15-minute countdown, the incomer is to be in front of the hatch, being ready to leave. The hatch is to be opened by the employee outside exactly by the time the countdown is finished and only for 20 seconds. And then closed and locked afterwards regardless of circumstances. Number 10. By the time the 35-minute countdown is finished, both employees are to stay near the external shell's hatch. The hatch is to be opened by the employee outside exactly by the time the countdown finishes, and only for 40 seconds, and closed and locked afterwards, regardless of circumstances. Number 11. Leaving the containment volume, debriefing and progress report to the operator in case procedures were not carried out in full. Another team is to be prepared for second examination. The second examination is being conducted completely regardless of progress of the previous team. Employees failing to leave the shells on time are considered killed in action. No rescue missions are to be attempted under any circumstances. In case said employees are found during subsequent examinations, they are to be removed from the shells and remanded to medical staff immediately. Taking off the suit and providing medical care is forbidden for any employees other than medical staff. The emergency protocols. Transmission of information about the outside world into the shells in a form of perceivable by the object, even if not having observable consequences, is to be classified as a containment breach and aborted as soon as possible. Termination of any employee is permitted if required to enact such. However, it should also be kept in mind that a deviation from the routine containment mode, as long as it remains stable, is preferable to frequent and sudden changes of the object's surroundings. For this reason, containment restoration is being conducted through decisive action, guaranteeing solid and sustainable results. In case of pressurization of the main containment volume, all turbomolecular pumps are to be shut off. I suffered saying that word. In order to prevent overload, all rotary main pumps are to operate in overdrive mode to sustain a maximally achievable vacuum during recovery operations. If the air pressure inside the containment volume exceeds 1 mbar, only operations are to be conducted in sound dampening mode. In case of visible integrity loss in any of the central shells, said shell is considered beyond repair. Instead, a new shell with a diameter of 2 meters greater than the current outer shell is being constructed around the central shells. if the outer shell is intact, or 2 successful shells if both current shells are damaged. After a new shell is put into operation, the old one is to be dismantled, removed, and remelted. The current dimensions of the containment volume allow to conduct the procedure as many as 5 times, hence, after 4th occurrence of shell integrity, loss in subsequent recontainment as described above, site personnel is to initiate work on containment volume expansion. In cases of significant damage to both the shells and thus an inevitable breach of containment volume, Protocol 2470 Alpha is to be engaged. High Command must be notified of the situation immediately through a special hotline. Contained objects of little avail classified as safe or Euclid, preferably extra-dimensional info or cognitohazardous, self-replicating upon destruction, or having a particularly complex structure, are to be brought to the breach zone before any containment restoration procedures take place. This measure is supposed to mitigate the object's destructive influence by forcing it to spend a significant amount of time fully analyzing the complexity and inconsistencies of the aforementioned objects, while their unique properties should not allow 2470 to make any substantial conclusions regarding the properties and laws of baseline reality. Any risks related to the object interactions are considered justified. Permanent deployment of some of the objects from the approved SCP list inside the facilities of Area 141 is currently under review. In case of BI before invasion, class, or TCF, total containment failure, scenarios if any local factors directly compromise the safety of Area 141 or by the order of the O5 Council, Protocol 2470 Beta must be engaged in order to neutralize 2470. 4 executors, 2 main, 2 backups are to be selected from the approved list and delivered to Area 141. The subjects must receive instruction and conduct test procedures on D-Class personnel. The main and backup pairs afterwards stand on duty with a 5-minute notice to start the procedure until Protocol 2470 Beta is cancelled by a direct order from the O5 Council. At the order of High Command, or in a case of sudden aggravation of the situation and loss of communication with the headquarters, the neutralization procedure is to be enacted under Area Command responsibility. After it is confirmed to be successful, the executors, both pairs, and all the D-Class personnel located in Area 141 are to be terminated. Any documentation relevant to 2470 is to be destroyed, and Area 141 is to be evacuated and destroyed via thermonuclear charge. Neutralization of the object, regardless of all the complexities of its containment, is the very last resort and is to be avoided until absolutely necessary. For this reason, subjects from the potential executors list are not to be present in Area 141 unless Protocol 2470 Beta is engaged. The last of the special containment procedures, organizational aspects. Due to the containment procedure complexity and unacceptable potential cause of error, a training complex has been established on Area 141 grounds for the purpose of general simulation of the containment volume in the containment area. All personnel involved with the containment are to be regularly practiced under supervision of an authorized employee with level 3 clearance and take qualification tests at least monthly. A non-routine works and procedures can only be carried out after training course simulations and rehearsals show a 100% success rate. Exceptions to this rule are permissible only on private order of area director in situations of extreme time pressure. Medical staff are to conduct physical examination of the working group prior to entering the containment volume and examine all Area 141 personnel monthly. Prior to deployment in Area 141, each member of the medical staff is to read, understand, and sign the classified document 2470X with a level 4 clearance employee as witness. Significant psychological tension caused by a large amount of important and demanding procedures associated with every entry into containment volume, such as wearing and checking a full body suit passing through the 4 airlocks, calibrating numerous systems, working inside the shells under severe time pressure, and others. Necessitates extra attention to personnel's mental health. Engineers assigned to the containment volume are to be given additional vacations. Any and all research of SCP-2470 is currently forbidden. Access to the archive of previously gained / retrieved information for purposes of analysis is allowed for employees of level 3 clearance or above by direct approval of at least 2 O5 members. As it is suspected that some members of the sect presumably responsible for the object's appearance or connected to it may be still alive and at large. Area 141 is considered to be under aggressive threat, although there is no reason to believe the aforementioned cultists to have any significant forces at their disposal. They possess information about the object that may potentially help them attract the interest of and gain support from other potentially dangerous radical organizations. Because of that, MTF Redacted and Redacted, apart from their main duties, are charged with monitoring the activity of any pro-apocalyptic groups and to actively investigate cultists, to contact them by creating front radical organizations and sects. That is all of the special containment procedures. I'm gonna take a sip of something right now.
Yeah, you do
That's
that. I'm
valid.
gonna. My head hurts.
That is so much information.
How long was that?
Let's see. Oh my gosh, a lot. Probably most likely 23, 24 minutes.
It's been 20 or so minutes of mind melting containment procedures. What the fuck is this SCP?
Well, we're about to find out. Alright. Description: SCP-2470 is a specific existential entity or a perceptive element which is objectively an initial manifestation of a ZK class scenario.
Oh.
Due to insuperable obstacles related to its perception, the object's appearance, if it has any, remains unknown. Its current locus is determined indirectly based on the area of effect it produces. Said effect is manifested through the instantaneous disappearance of any object or event perceived by 2470 from objective reality. First and foremost, this applies to the most proximate aspects which are directly accessible to the object's senses. Thereafter, as the object accumulates knowledge, gains abstract understanding of the nature of things, and makes generalizations, the effect extends to the phenomena themselves, their direct and later indirect consequences. For instance, during the initial recovery operation, it was noted that the sound of the agent's footsteps, said agents were obstructed from the site by smoke screens, was starting to drown out due to sonic escalations having stopped. Soon afterwards, large volumes of the air itself started to spontaneously disappear, which caused hypobaric effects, which was followed by the disappearance of several agents' legs, and finally the agents disappeared wholly and completely. In a similar fashion, at first several clots of the aforementioned smoke screen disappeared, but the effect soon spread to whole smoke clouds, followed by an all active smoke grenades at the operation site. This culminated with disappearance of all smoke grenades of that specific type of the operation site, regardless of their being within range of the object's perception. Disappearance of soil caused a crater up to 200 meters deep to manifest at the location of the object's discovery. Apparently, the object was somehow confused that every demanifested volume of soil brought more into view, and that slowed the process down. It did not manage to realize the Earth as a limited, infinite entity. Due to the constant disappearance of air, atmospheric pressure has dropped at that operation site and steadily high current cyclone was formed. Since any generalizations of reasons behind any phenomena inevitably lead to using abstract concepts and eventually lead to logically reasoning universe's existence per se. 2470 is classified as a potential ZK class hazard. According to analysis of gathered data, it was reliably established that the object possesses the following senses: a perception of electromagnetic radiation, an extremely wide frequency range, including the visible spectrum, which is analogous to fission.
Analogous.
Analogous to fission, right? A highly sensitive perception of mechanical stimuli, which is analogous to tactile sense and hearing, a perception of data expunged. Following senses are responsibly likely to be possessed by the object: a direct yet severely limited telepathic perception, a perception of certain quantum effects, particularly quantum superposition of states of
Superposition.
superposition of states as a singular phenomenon. The, the latter hypothesis is related to the events that happened during redacted, as well as damage and demanifestation of at least equipment sensors and human sensory organs during attempts to perceive the object directly, which is apparently related to the wave function collapse that inevitably accompanies an act of perception and is seemingly perceivable by 2470. Moreover, this hypothesis, combined with the conclusion regarding data expunged, provides an explanation to how the object managed to avoid exposure to Weierstrass's paradox. Apparently, the effect of quantum entanglement of the object in present time within itself is an immediate future, allows it to foresee the damaging effect of the mimetic agent without even having a concept of its nature, and, based on that information, allows 2470 to refuse to perceive it. To close its eyes, metaphorically speaking. However, the fact that this modus operandi remains its only manner of existence for redacted years and containment counts in favor of the paradox's adequacy and efficiency of the developed neutralization procedure, which is based on the forceful inoculation of a destructive mean bypassing the object's senses. Information is removed from public access. Deletion pending level 4 clearance is required to continue. The Foundation code, redacted. Looks like access granted. Alright, hold on. I'll be right back. Apparently I almost already finished my drink, so I'm gonna get refill. I'll be back.
Okay.
Sorry, but
So yeah. But if my brain is gathering the information being read correctly, this is an object that causes anything that it perceives and thinks about to disappear.
More of things it thinks about and
Alright,
wants to
I'm back.
disappear.
I'm back.
It, uh, I mean, was it like has it been stated that it actually like has any will that we know of?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out further on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. According to another hypothesis, the idea of SCP-2470 being a cognizing entity is not quite correct, as a CK class scenario can leave behind neither any knowledge of the current existence nor any entities possessing such knowledge. Actually, the origin of the effect resulting in a ZK class scenario lies not within the object, as we got used to thinking, but within the whole outer world. It is not the object that tears fragments away from reality, but the reality itself discharging these fragments and casting them into the most fitting place, into the unfillable being that is 2470, as soon as they form a strong enough causal connection with it. Unbeing, as the true nature of the object originates as a result of every successful attempt to perceive it, thus as unbeing as a priori singular part of the object manifests on the information medium or inside the perceiver's mind, destroying it directly. Under this hypothesis, this explains the above referenced effects on perception. From the perspective of the cognizing nature of the object appears to be merely an illusion, caused by its dualistic position relative to the forgetting nature of the universe through a virtual cognition. A cognitive quantum, a quasi particle introduced in the theory of redacted as an elementary particle, a model mind mediator. Right. Related to the object created by this impact appears to be indistinguishable from the real one. Moreover, the concept of real and objective appears to be conventional and hardly applicable in a given context. This is what determines the object's inability to perceive Weierstrass's paradox, but in this case, it appears to be an objective and natural limitation, not related to a willed refusal to perceive. From this point of view, the effectiveness of the developed neutralization procedure seems very dubious. Alright, recovery log. The first report of the object's anomalous activity came on redacted at about redacted from an airplane observer of FGU. How the fuck do I say that?
Where are we?
Right here.
F.
Avial su. Sorry, I just keep doing the accidental R roll. God damn it. Nah. You know,
Yeah.
I give up. I think my Spanish blood is 1/4 too much.
It's motherfucking Russian. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, a Russian government agency charged primarily with the area of management of forest fires. He was conducting fire safety monitoring in the redacted area. The pilot reported a huge deforested area centered around a wide, deep cavity communication, with the pilot ceased soon afterwards. The report was intercepted by undercover Foundation agents in the MES, and a reconnaissance operation with redacted mobile task forces was arranged. Initial hypotheses regarding the object's nature were defining it as something akin to a miniature black hole. However, primary analysis disproved this point of view and demonstrated the true nature of the anomaly. Several methods of containment and/or neutralization, such as data expunged, had been applied unsuccessfully and were followed by a proposal to use Weierstrass's paradox in order to neutralize the object. This attempt was a partial success. Neutralization was not achieved, however, it was discovered that the paradox's carrier was not susceptible to the object's effect, which allowed the Foundation to capture 2470 after several unsuccessful attempts and develop the current containment protocols. Total losses throughout the whole operation amounted to redacted employees.
That's at least a 3-digit number right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Anyway, excerpt from
I think
Dr.
it's probably a 4-digit number.
No, it looks to be a 3-digit number.
Yeah, I think it's only 3 digits because there's only three
Okay.
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excerpt from Dr. Redacted's report. There was a remarkable episode during one of the first attempts of neutralization when at the suggestion of Agent Redacted, a mirror was placed within the object's field of view. It seemed logical that after seeing its own reflection, the object would neutralize itself. However, though the other things reflected in the mirror were subjected to its effect to the full, the object itself did not undergo any changes. Instead, it destroyed the mirror, although this action took it 12 seconds, more than it usually took for items of similar scale. Also, it is obvious that the object has not been self-destructing due to self-awareness for redacted years already. This can be rationalized by one of the following hypotheses. The object is either able to apply its effects selectively or is passively non-susceptible to them. The object is either unable to perceive itself or is avoiding that. The object itself is uncognizable. The uncognizable nature of the object's object is actually the object itself, any sort of cognition results in the object's duplication, or is equals to the object growing due to its indivisible nature. Last hypothesis, data expunge for more precise control. According to the data gathered later on, a small village of Redacted, which had been abandoned since the at least late 80s, had been situated at the initial discovery site. However, a few years before the anomaly appeared, it had been occupied with members of an unidentified radical pro-apocalyptic religious community. The evidence of their activity is sketchy and inconsistent, though it suggests that data expunged. Why do I get the feeling it's most likely the cult of the Scarlet King?
Yeah.
Because that's basically what the Scarlet King wants.
Well, the Scarlet King wants the end of our universe. It sounds less like the end of our universe and more like their universe would be invading ours.
Eh, yeah. Addendum 1. The O5 Redacted's Memorandum to Area 141 personnel. Dear colleagues, after the command of Area 141 informed me of the certain popular perceptions among your community, I sought to explain certain particularities regarding our policy on 2470. Yes, this object is exactly as dangerous as you were told, or probably even more. Thus far, our only salvation was that the fact that the embryonic state of its mind cannot comprehend many of the things we considered obvious. That air is not nothingness and exists not just when it feels a breeze. That the earth is a celestial body of infinite size. That the sun is not a flat shining spot on the horizon. That the people, despite how different they are, all represent humankind as a whole, and so on. Yes, it is essential to keep the object in complete isolation and to avert any transmission of the most insignificant information at any cost. It learns very fast, and we can never be sure which grain of knowledge it lacks to be given a nudge to the ideas of space, time, infinity, and the universe. Yes, it is both difficult and dangerous to contain such an object, and yes, we do possess a procedure for its neutralization. Why are we not engaging it? The reason is because the containment itself is of a huge strategic value to us. The thing is, according to the research on the subject, simultaneous occurrence of two CK class scenarios is fundamentally impossible. Therefore, as long as one of them is being contained, we guarantee that the others, which might not be so easily controlled anyhow, will not happen. In fact, we are very lucky that this object took a form that can be contained at acceptable cost. So it would not be sensible to lose such an opportunity. Therefore, containment will be carried out as long as we can manage, with neutralization being planned only for such an extreme case when the object's direct threat will be big enough to negate all of our prospects of carrying this policy out in the future, along with the future itself. Through thick and thin, you have to know that your work guarantees humanity's continued existence. Treat it properly, securely contain, protect. Sincerely yours, O5 Redacted.
What even is this accent?
I don't know.
I've always wondered that too.
I don't know what
Also,
that
it
is.
sounds like the O5 Council are literally not destroying it because it prevents things just as bad or worse from happening.
However, I've heard that similar accent being used by an O5 member reading the his factory log. So
Um,
that's why I use that voice when it's do O5s.
but yeah, they're basically holding on to this thing
Yeah.
as what's the right analogy? If we're in a cold war between other ZK class scenarios, then this thing allows us to basically cancel out other scenarios somehow.
Yeah. That's actually I wonder about a theory, because you know that one joke SCP that gets worse every time you say it? It would get to the point
Yeah.
of CK. So would would saying it no longer work?
I don't know.
And it's interesting to think about. Alright. Addendum 2. The list of enactors and the methodology for procedure of the object's neutralization. The procedure is to be performed by two subjects possessing confirmed telepathic abilities related to no less than 9 points on the redacted scale, with a satisfactory. Huh?
Hmm?
Oh, I thought someone said something. Never mind.
No.
No, I
Okay.
was trying to shoo a cat away from something I'm not supposed to be
Ah,
doing.
gotcha.
Chewing a cat is, in fact, not talking.
Yeah. With a satisfactory result for 2470 QT spatial awareness test, no history of earlier exposure to and no impairments such as color blindness that affect visual and color perception. In case the list is down to 30 positions or fewer for whatever reason, use of SCP Redacted for development of telepathic abilities is suitable candidates is authorized for the purpose of replenishing the list. As of today, redacted individuals are on the list, namely data expunged. Immediately after Protocol 2470 Beta is engaged, there is a preliminary measure that consists of building an additional shell according to the requirements for the inner shell breach scenarios. The executors must be kept in ignorance of the true purpose of the area, a cover story of it being Telepathy Research Center, and the process being a test of their abilities is to be adhered to. Additionally, the subjects must not know about each other's existence. Violation of this condition is grounds for immediate termination and a selection of new candidates. A neutralization procedure is performed using an adapted version of Weibschatten's paradox, divided into two subcomponents, both safe to be perceived separately. The subject's task is to memorize one of the subcomponents and to implant it, but synchron. Oh, fuck. um, synchronously.
Synchronous.
Synchronously, yeah.
Synchronously.
Synchronously, yeah.
Got it.
That's like one of those words where I know I should know how to pronounce it, but it just breaks me when I try to.
Yeah.
So I ain't
Sounds,
blaming you on that one.
sounds like you know how to say it, it's just really hard to say it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta stretch. All right. Come here, Bus. Shit. Give me a moment.
Did you just call your dog a shit?
Yes. I think it's necessary for pet owners to at some point call their pet a shit.
Alrighty. Alright. I'm back.
Welcome back. And I will admit that might be true since thinking back, I even called Darling a shit a few times. But Darling, when she was alive, was also the type where the quote, I don't get mad, I get even fits very well, which probably isn't very good when you're dealing with a highly intelligent cat.
Yeah. You know, anyways, into the mind of the entity, which is located in the center of the shell. Demonstrated to them using live transmission, the active 2470C telepathy suppression device is to be switched off 5 seconds before the subjects are authorized to act and should be kept offline for at least 15, but no more than 25 seconds. Trial runs for this procedure are conducted on the on-site training complex using Class D test subject. At least 3 successful trial runs in succession are required before the performers are cleared for work. When taking part in the actual procedure, the subjects must not know it is not a trial run. After the procedure is performed, the first inspection is conducted by switching off the inner shell power for 30 minutes. In case the inner shell shows no change in its electrical performance and has no other signs of structural damage, the inspection is considered passed. The second inspection is conducted visually by means of employees entering the central shell, wearing protective suits, with the spatial image filtration system turned off. If the procedure is successful, the shell should not have anything inside. Wait, that means you just killed them!
Yes.
Damn! Alright. Addendum 3, Document 2470X, Medical Staff Only. This document is intended for the medical staff of Area 141 only. Divulgence in any details contained herein is a result in termination. Any other employee displaying knowledge of the contents of this document is to be assigned from the appropriate disciplinary action, treated with an A-class amnestic, and transferred to another Foundation facility. The medical staff of Area 141 are to pay extra attention to psychological health assessment of employees during periodical personnel surveys. Aside from disorders that are natural for conditions of strenuous work, special effort must be put in discovering the following complex of symptoms: repetitive dreams featuring an abstract pulsing and growing black mass, identified as 2470 by the examinee, total lack of any dreams soon thereafter in less than a week, flattening of effects, progressive indifference to surroundings, and reactions becoming mechanical, repeating episodes in which the examinee looks at the common everyday objects for a long time with an uncommon curiosity, a lack of any discernible dreams lasting for 2 weeks is considered a sufficient warrant for a suspension and quarantine assessment. The quarantine implicates a termination of any forms of communication with any personnel not involved in the process of assessment. To ensure reliable diagnosis, a trust relationship with the personnel is to be set and maintained. It is recommended to present the practice of regular discussions of dreams as a preliminary phase of psychological survey aimed at distraction from the current situation and relaxation. The keen interest in nightmares can be explained as a search for hidden reasons for nervousness and analysis of suspended fears. The aforementioned diagnosis should be given top priority for personnel involved in procedures taking place inside the containment, volume, and central shells, and especially for those who spent unscheduled time inside for whatever reasons. The latter are to be quarantined immediately and thoroughly examined for no less than 2 weeks. Everyone who spent more than an hour and a half inside the outer shell, or more than an hour inside the inner shell, are to be considered to fail the inspection, regardless of observed state. All diagnosed cases are to be processed as soon as possible. Employees with diagnosed symptoms are to be put in an artificial coma under pretense of an insignificant surgical intervention, given 2 complete cycles of D-class amnestic treatment, and subsequently euthanized by a neurotoxin injection and cremated. The rest of the personnel are to be given a cover story implicating that the employee is dismissed for medical reasons and transferred to another Foundation's facility. You will receive the instructions on covering the above referenced activity from your ISD case officers. So basically, there is no cure.
Okay, so like we already know where
Yeah,
it goes.
it's in
It's
CK.
easy. But like so it's an object that's got the building blocks of some kind of mind. Anything that it perceives except for itself ceases to exist, and remaining in close contact with it spreads it somehow?
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
I think the longest part of the article was the fucking containment procedures.
I think
Oh, yes.
having it enter you and help spread it, because think like this: if it's inside you and you're walking around, that means it's getting out of its little bubble.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's actually terrifying.
Oh wait, come to think of it. Yeah, okay, so now I'm getting it. Like when it's doing that, it's basically taking over people and using them as a means to gather information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means that person is dying inside more than more. I mean, more and more, the more the thing is in there, and there's no way to save that person.
How long did it take me to read that? It
Like
almost
a weird, like, parasite.
that almost took me an hour to read. Jesus Christ.
How would you feel if that thing entered you?
Kinky.
No!
Uh, yeah, that
No!
I wasn't gonna say it, but that was you gave her way too much of an opportunity there.
Well, I did, but it's a world destroying, like, machine thing. You're not supposed to say kinky.
I
Correction,
will.
reality destroying.
Yeah. Alright, so who wants to read the next one? Because I read a lot. The next one is a Chaos Insurgency Special Operative Alpha 19.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
2490.
Yeah. It's not that long.
Uh, I guess I
I'll
can
do.
read it.
Oh.
Oh. A fist fight to decide who reads it.
You can do it. I was mainly like thinking, oh, I'll stop trying to finish this Rattler thing and just do it. But if you want to do it, I'm totally fine
Yeah,
with
let me
that.
just get the picture
Okay.
for it.
Let's see, it's 2490.
Alright. I'm gonna put the picture for it in the chat.
Also, hey Apollo.
Yeah, hi, Apollo.
Hi. I've just been eating.
Ah.
Uh,
I'm not. I'm in a voice call, asshole.
Also, this thing
Little
looks
brothers, am I
terrifying.
right?
Hmm? Wait, what happened?
Yeah. I was just saying that the picture I put in there looks terrifying.
Oh. I've seen more scary.
Alright, you ready, Hatchet?
okay. Okay. I took a drink. Item number SCP-24. You know what? It's gonna. I need to. Yeah, sorry. Give me a second.
I'm glad you started over because I actually deafened myself.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I realized that having Hades 2 soundtrack playing very quietly in my head was going to distract me,
Ah.
so I closed the game. Okay. Item number SCP-2490. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. All Foundation personnel are to be informed of SCP-2490's properties and are encouraged to inform their site director if they suspect pursuit by 2490. Mobile Task Force Alpha 5 Honor Guard is to monitor any compromised personnel at all times and incapacitate 2490 if possible. Mobile Task Force PSI 7 Home Improvement is currently tracking down anomalous objects believed to have been stolen by 2490. Personnel compromised by 2490 are to be placed on indefinite paid leave and their security clearance is to be immediately revoked. Any anomalous object that the compromised personnel worked with should be moved to secondary classified locations at the discretion of the site director. If the object cannot be moved, then all security measures, codes, guard schedules, modular perimeter defenses around it are to be modified immediately, with emphasis on constant in person surveillance. Employees attacked by 2490 should be transferred to Site 44A, Foundation Center for Neurological Disease. Description: 2490 refers to a modified human being believed to be Chaos Insurgency Special Operative Alpha 19 that has stalked at least redacted Foundation employees since 19 redacted, and that's a 2-digit number. SCP-2490's head is composed of a single oblong beige capsule on which 2 eyes have been painted and no other facial features are present. Its body consists of multiple white, jointed segments. SCP-2490 possesses claws that appear to be grafted to its hand pods. Based on target testimony, however, most observers perceive it as an ordinary human being. 2490 displays behavior consistent with game stalkers, identifying a person or multiple persons, and methodically stalking them, usually through urban and rural areas. Excuse me. The target is or will become immune to the mechanism that 2490 uses to disguise itself, but 2490 makes no attempt to disguise its behavior if spotted. Targets have often reported seeing normal persons transform into 2490 before it begins pursuit. 2490 will pursue the target for anywhere between several hours and several months, often showing itself to the target from a range before fleeing. As a result of this behavior, targets usually express lack of sleep, extreme paranoia, introversion, and a phobia of mannequins. Targets uniformly report 2490 either moving towards them without moving its legs, with its arms outstretched, or scuttling in a manner akin to a crab. 2490 appears to have a type of short-range teleportation, although another hypothesis is that there are several instances of 2490. In one instance, 2490's target locked it in a closet and turned around to see 2490 emerging from a nearby bathroom. Eventually, targets are found unconscious with puncture marks in their skull. MRI scanning reveals that the brain tissue from the cerebellum, hippocampus, cerebral cortex, and random sections of the frontal, peripheral, and temporal lobes have been removed and replaced with a fluid similar to SCP redacted's secretions. Following an attack, a random SCP that the target previously worked with will disappear. How the object is removed is unknown, as no security measures are activated and no witnesses are ever present. Surveillance footage shows no abnormalities beside a consistent 0.5 second period of static, during which time the object disappears. Attempts to watch anomalous objects in person result in brief periods of vision failure, usually through malfunctioning lights, human error, or optical instrument failure, during which time the object disappears. Interview with Dr. Feldman. Dr. Arnold Feldman was the 7th Foundation employee pursued by 2490. This interview was taken shortly before full compromise. Interviewer. Good morning, Dr. Feldman. Feldman. Yes, good morning. Interviewer. Doctor, we would like to collect some information from you on the SCP that has been pursuing you. What do you want? What do you want to know about it? What do you know about SCP-2490? Feldman. Nothing. I know it's an SCP. I know it can teleport. I know it terrorizes Foundation employees. I know it does something to their heads. I know it ruined my marriage. That's it. When did you first encounter 2490? It was about 6 months ago. I was going to pick up my daughter from school. She was being released for the summer. While I was walking to school, I tripped. Oh, excuse me. I tripped by this alleyway, and while I was getting up, I saw it. It was hiding in the alley, and as soon as it saw me see it, it ran. At first, I didn't understand what I saw, so I passed it off as a trick of the smog. So much smog in the city, you can't see past your own 2 feet. But I couldn't get it out of my head. That face and the way it was staring at me, like, I don't. It was just two eyes and nothing else. Just two blue eyes staring at me. Just those eyes. When did you next see 2490? It was it was about a week later, I think. Excuse me. I was on my way to Site 33, and I heard a rustling sound. It was quiet, almost unnoticeable, and I saw it again, scuttling down the road like a crab. I saw this thing made of like a mannequin made of, I don't know, gigantic plastic pills. It was on its back and running on its arms and legs, and the scuttling. It was this horrid rattling noise that got quieter as it moved around the corner. I just couldn't believe what I saw. I assumed that it had to be hallucinations because of this project I was working on. I don't think I'm allowed to tell you it. I don't think I'm allowed to tell you anything about that, sorry. That's all right. Please continue discussing your experiences with 2490. Feldman pauses to collect his thoughts. I just kept seeing it. Not all the time, mind you, just enough to make sure that as soon as I put it out of my mind, I'd see it again. Walking around the corners, scuttling into buildings, running over rooftops, vanishing into crowds. Nobody noticed the damn thing. And I was still on the project, so I wasn't worried. But then it started getting closer and closer, and its arms they were outstretched. These fucking plastic claws reaching for me like it was running a marathon, and I realized there was something off about it. It was moving towards me all the damn time, but it never moved its fucking legs. But it wasn't floating, it was literally. Feldman stops. Feldman takes several deep breaths. I stopped working on the project, and that's where it got worse. At first, it was little things, sounds behind me, thumping noises, squeaks, humming, things moving just a little bit, maybe a few centimeters. This feeling every time I was in even a bit of darkness, like something was staring at me. I started seeing flashes of it out of the corner of my eye. One night, See, I stared out the window and I saw it, barely lit by the neighbor's garbage garage lights, prowling in their fucking yard before running off into the woods like it saw me see it. I went over the next day and I saw these tracks in the snow. Just these fat round circles like something on a pod or a pogo stick or something. No animal. No animal I've heard of has fat circles for feet. Elephant?
Technically, those are not
Yeah,
fat circle prints.
yeah, they got little toes. I work on the computer the next night and I hear noises, thumping noises, like there's something on the roof. And I look at those little slanted windows on the roof, like a sunroof for a house. I look at those and its face is pressed up against the glass. Me staring at it, its eyes squeezing against the window, boring into my goddamn soul before it just squirms off. Uh, let's see. Interviewer. Around this time, you alerted the Foundation to 2490, correct? Yeah, around then. I got yelled at a bit by my supervisor and then got some security measures and an MTF guard. Special security measures. Ha! Dr. Feldman begins hyperventilating briefly before calming himself down. Right around the time the family got back from vacation, it got worse. I got sleeping pills. Excuse me. I got sleeping pills just so I could do without a nightlight. Couldn't let them know that was what was wrong. Then it ramped up. I started seeing it in my peripheral vision. Turn the corner, bam, it's there. Walk into a room, bam, it's walking out another door. It was random. Like 1 week it wouldn't be there, and the next week I wake up and bam, it's waltzing out of my bloody bedroom. Do you know what that does to a man? That security system you set up detected absolutely jack shit. Your damn MTF saw nothing. I'm the only one who sees it, not the security system or those buffoons in uniform. Parvati and Donnie. Parvati and Donnie notice I'm on edge, but what do I tell them? Sorry, I've just been haunted by a demonic mannequin?
Sorry.
Dr. Feldman begins to shiver and wraps his arms around his body. Interviewer stands up to raise the temperature of the interviewing room. Feldman, don't go! You leave and it's just me and it. One night, see, I'm brushing my teeth. I was on edge, but I hadn't seen it in a few days. Then, as I'm staring into the mirror, I see it. Its head just rising out of the bathtub. There's not even enough. There's not even enough to room to. Not even enough room to lie down in that tub. But this thing was rising out of the bathtub like it was growing. Two beady little eyes on a fat beige pill of a head. I whipped around and there was nothing there except a thumping sound, like somebody walked out of the bathroom. So I went out and bought an axe. The next day, I was working on a project report and I hear a buzzing noise. I took, I looked to my left and it's just standing there, watching with these beady blue eyes and these horrible claws on its arms collapsed together. Like I blink and it's gone. 3 days ago, I woke up in the middle of the night to get a drink and grabbed that axe. As I passed by my daughter's room, I heard something moving around. Do you know what I saw when I opened the door? 2490, I presume? Yeah, every year. Feldman. Nothing! Just Danny murmuring in her sleep. Nothing there! So I turn around and guess what? It's right at the end of the hall. I pissed myself, you understand? I turned around and I was face to face with that thing. And then it slips into my bedroom. I charge into the bedroom with that axe, and there's nothing there except my wife, awake and staring at me with an axe in my hands. The next day, Parvati took my daughter and they went to live with her parents. What can I do? I can't go after them, and what if it does too? Interviewer. Have you seen 2490 since then? Yes, following me on the way here. I lost it about a mile back. Interviewer. Thank you, Dr. Feldman. Dr. Krish. Oh, motherfucker. Krishnamurthy. Krishnamurthy will be here shortly. Wait, I'm not done. There's something else about it. I've been noticing something else about it. Sometimes it's sometimes it's smaller than usual. Like it's sometimes only 2/3 as large as it usually is. I think there's more. At this point, the lights in the interview room cut out for approximately 3.5 seconds. The interview reported hearing a shuffling sound and a brief gasp before the lights turned back on, at which point Dr. Fedman was found unconscious on the ground, apparently victim to 2490.
Did the SCP kill him because he was gonna say more information?
Maybe.
Oh, what a
Okay,
little dick.
so Metlik agent Notters 7 please enter login information. Login confirmed. The following document was acquired from a GOC database during the events of Redacted. Threat ID. Threat ID. KTE 4622 Velvetin Hunting Mannequin. Velveteen Hunting Mannequin. Authorized response level 4. Secure threat. Description: animate plastic mannequin stalks and hunts GOC operatives for a random period of time, causing psychological trauma before attacking and removing brain matter in an unknown fashion. Appears to have form of psychic camouflage similar to KTE 9732 Lengal Corona. Instantaneous transportation abilities. Following an attack, smaller animate mannequins that resemble the object will infiltrate GOC bases and steal other anomalous objects present on site. Security measures are not tripped, and witnesses report seeing qualified personnel removing the stolen objects with proper identification and passes. Security cameras are able to catch the objects on recorded footage, although live footage does not show the objects. Their primary objective is unknown. Rules of engagement. All GOC operatives have been informed of the object's properties and are encouraged to inform Strike Team 2374 Beetlejuice if they suspect pursuit by the object. Strike Team Beetlejuice has been equipped with incineration weapons and high molar acid sprayers. All GOC bases have been upgraded with flame-based security measures. General security protocols for personnel and bases and termination protocols for anomalous objects have been updated to prevent compromise by KTE 4622. History. First sighted near Bilibino nuclear power plant in northern Russia by GOC operative Chaplin, following a joint termination operation with GRU Division P of LTE 1723 Scarlet Green Mendel in 1965. This fucking GOC article is breaking my brain because of how it's formatted. Several more agents were stalked and harassed by the object throughout Europe for the next several years. In 1981, following the disappearance of Agent Pinocchio, Several GOC bases were infiltrated by animate mannequins resembling the object, which stole various other anomalous objects scheduled for termination. All witnesses reported seeing take the footage caught qualified personnel take the object, stating that they were provided proper clearance. Only standard checks of security footage caught these discrepancies. As of 1990, no less than 75 GOC personnel and 45 anomalous objects have been compromised by the objects. Operatives within the Foundation report affiliation with the group the Chaos Insurgency. Oh, what is this last document? The following document was acquired from a raid on a Chaos Insurgency base of operations. Data redacted per 05 command. Certain information has been redacted. D0 catalog number SC59-471-68-666. Document type step compilation. Dates received 06/04/59 through 11/28/68. Operation status open. Forward. We know not from whence it came, only that its assault is relentless. Friend to neither beast nor man, the mannequin and its children draw ever closer. It feeds on our men and its children on our possessions, hiding in the shadows will not deter them, so let us hide in plain sight. When the time comes, we of the insurgency will pass this plague on to our foes as it was passed on to us. Hereafter, we of Delta Command document the steps of the plan as transcribed by the engineer of the Chaos Insurgency. Step 59/471. On September the 11th, the mannequin will target the Gamma class personnel redacted in Base 24. Tell all other personnel on the base that he has been infected by an anomalous pathogen, is being kept on for study, and the only way to stay clean is to ignore his talk of being stalked. Step 60-75-6. Open the Golden Gateway, currently housed in Base 13, and allow the creatures that exist to escape. Ensure that the Alpha class personnel, redacted, are allowed to escape, but modify their seeker microchips so that they are directed to any Gamma class Foundation or GOC models. Step 60-/034. The mannequin's progeny will assault Base 24 on November 6th. Evacuate all objects except Hippolyta's girdle and the all-seeing eye. Those are useless at this point anyways. Evacuate all Gamma personnel, leave an armed contingency of Beta class security personnel and Alpha class standard Alpha class standard personnel to defend the base from the progeny. Have steps. Oh god, these numbers are gonna break my brain. Step 69/034. Have the shifting child delivered to the Russian liaison on October 17th. Bring its controlling sash and a fake sash. Give the Russian the fake sash and make sure that the delivery personnel have immediately following payment. Leave immediately following payment. Step 68-666. The beta/class personnel redacted plans to defect. Have 2 Gamma class personnel discuss the mannequin near her, pretending that it is an Alpha class personnel modified with anomalous objects. The Gamma class personnel are not to mention the progeny. Oh, my head.
So this one was mainly going after the chaos insurgents, and they just moved it to other people.
Yeah.
What
It's
what I
like,
what I feel like this all says is basically this entire mess is the GOP's fault. All of it is their fault. If they hadn't tried to destroy it, it probably wouldn't have started this bullshit.
GOP?
Wasn't that the ones who said they were scheduled to destroy it before it was taken?
A
Oh, DOC,
GRU
sorry.
Division P, which is actually a
GOC,
group of
sorry.
interest.
I meant GOC.
A GOC, yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure why I said GOP or. Uh, do I blame my dyslexia?
So this is obviously a certain group because it's only targeting. Huh?
Now hold up.
Oh,
One thing I was going to say is I think I I I think that it I don't think that it can be said that this is the GOC's fault
mm.
because from what I can tell it's just something that started to exist. It starts focusing on the uh Chaos Insurgency, and then the Chaos Insurgency did something that makes it so that it starts focusing on both the SCP Foundation and the GOC. Like it's happening to both of them at the same
Well,
time.
yeah, but wasn't there that one entry that said basically it used to be the GOCs, it was going to destroy it, but then it got taken?
No, that was in reference to. I think that was in reference to other objects that they were talking about destroying.
Really? I thought one of
Yeah.
them was a mannequin operative.
Operatives within Foundation report. Uh, no, I only remember that being in reference to other
Yeah.
anomalous objects.
So
Um, this is ZK. Simple reason why. What if this thing attached to someone working with that previous SCP?
oh god, yeah, now I see what you're talking about.
There is no, like, once it attaches to someone, there's seemingly no way to keep it from breaking the containment of that object. And in
Oh,
that case, it's an object that. Are you okay, Bright?
I just realized. What if it went after someone who was working on 610? That would be.
Oh God, yeah. So I mean, in that case, that's just an XK.
Yeah.
But either way, like if it absconded with that with the object from the previous SCP, then bye bye reality, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
So, and any objections?
No, I don't think
Okay, I
so.
think I misunderstood the first part of the history. I think that's why my brain got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not help that the GOC fittingly just makes their documents such a slog to try to read.
Yeah, I'll admit it probably says something on how hard it is to understand all of it when listening to it even got me confused.
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna lie, like halfway through the GOC article, my brain was just fucking fried. This entire last like 5 or 10 minutes was just me reading with my mouth but not processing any of the information.
Yeah, so the GOC was the first ones to spot it and get attacked, but they did not have it like they did not have it, they were just being attacked, and it even
Yeah.
pretended to be one of its operatives, one named Pinocchio, which is hilarious.
Well, again, I think I think you're mixed up there. It's Chaos Insurgency that had it first, and then they redirected it to the GOC and the SCP
No,
Foundation.
I'm saying they were the ones who were attacked first. That's what I said.
Were they attacked first?
That's what it said in 1965.
1965. Yeah, I guess we don't actually have dates on the other stuff.
And in
The SCP
1981,
Foundation.
they had the disappearance of Agent Pinocchio, who I guess was like stalked by the doll, because it sounds like
Yeah.
the doll does not actually enter any of the people it riddles the brain of. It just stalks and drives them fucking crazy with its kids. Which is
Yeah.
horrible. That is horrible. That is horrible. How do
Yeah.
you isolate someone? You get everyone to back away and distrust that person, and that's kind of a dick move.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. I'm just typing random letters, but it's doing this. Look at this.
Oh, that's cool.
This is
Which
really
SCP
cool.
is this?
2505, but it's safe. Oh, wait, you can change it. You can change its object class.
What the hell is this thing?
I don't know. I don't think it's actually a Keter of any kind, but that's really interesting. I'm saving that
No,
for later.
stop calling and telling me to. What is the up part? Oh.
Oh.
I'll see that for
Yeah,
later. It's interesting. Sorry.
Yeah, my brain is. I think that trying to read that GOC stuff nuked at least 25% of my brain cells.
Yeah. Also, I love this SCP's object class. It's none.
Object class. We do not talk about the object class. First rule of SCP: we don't talk about SCP.
I like this SCP right here.
Shut up, Bright. Keep moving forward.
Alright, just double checking, making sure there's no other hidden Keters. It's a lot of Euclid and safe ones. Jiri, you get to read the next one. It's gonna be the hardest one ever. I hope you're ready. If there's no other Keters in the way.
What number is it?
You'll find...
Right,
close.
just tell me what number it is.
Bright's being sarcastic and a pain in the ass. I'm guessing it's a really easy article to read.
Here it is.
Oh yeah, it's this thing.
SCP-2521, where there's no reading, it's just the pictures.
Yeah, it's just a picture book, effectively.
Okay, what number is it?
2521. But it'll show us a bunch of circles.
So yeah, it's a fun little SCP. That
Okay. I feel like the pictures mean something, but I don't know the fuck it means besides this is a Keter, and to contain it, you must do these things that I do not understand. Do not write about it, do not talk about it, do not save information on it, but you can draw pictures on it. And
Yeah.
you do not share those pictures with too many people, but you can share it. Oh, you can't share it with people who are ranked 0, 1, 2, or 3, but you can 4 or 5.
Yeah. I remember the specifics of this thing.
Okay.
So, we've got a nice little image of its tassels and its wiggly little bits. We're not going to talk about its wiggly bits. I remember the basic premise of this. So it cannot be contained. It just nopes the fuck out of boxes that you put it in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this image was referring to the fact that it basically only affects people, and that's right, it only affects people and information about it.
Mhm.
So it's very much an anti-meme. It comes in. So uh we've got demonstration A. A person is told to write down information about him, and then he comes in and takes said information, and the person is uh, uh left in the fetal position under the table.
aka traumatized.
Yeah. And the second one is featuring a D class speaking about him, and he comes and gives the D class a big old um hentai hug, and then he's gone. Let's just to say, it's just to say this SCP only affects information about it. It just
Yeah.
steals. It just comes and takes any information about it that's written or spoken, like in data, but it can be portrayed through pictures.
What? Why have it look like it's like going off to molest the person in the distance with the heart and the tentacles? Why not just say it takes it away?
Listen. He just he's just really shy, and he doesn't want anyone talking about him, okay?
That
So he tentacles them away with hearts.
yeah. There's
Yes.
yeah. So there's actually
That's
this
how a
one.
lot of porn
Uh,
start.
yeah. There's one interesting story. I forgot its fucking name, but it's my favorite story about this SCP. Basically, this guy gets taken by 2521, and he appear in this weird metal-like hallway, and they go straight to the door, finally getting it open. They become the new 2521, and 2521 takes their place.
Hmm. That's
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah,
Either way, this is a pretty cut and dry certain group,
yeah,
if that. Like it only affects information about it and people talking about information about it.
yeah. I can see it getting bad if, like, someone like the Cancer sees spread information like wildfire.
Oh yeah, but I mean even then like it would just take all the information, and assuming someone doesn't immediately start describing it,
Yeah,
then it'll just nope out with the information before any harm is done.
yeah. Let's. I'll actually get you the next CPG. I was just being a dick with that one.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take my headset off for a little bit.
Okay.
Bright being a little
Oh,
brat is not surprising.
this is one of the SCPs that got removed. Well, it's not the Keter I'm looking for, but that kind of stopped me from going to the next SCP. Well, shit. All right.
Future pennies.
What the fuck? All right, I have the best picture of this that I got from Google. I'm gonna put it in Discord chat. You're going to love it.
That sounds like I'll hate it. Yeah, good picture. Good fucking picture.
Anyways, Jerry, this SCP is now hiring.
2532. All right.
Yeah, it would be funny
Okay,
if the
so-
previous one was a Keter because it's the Pumpkin Man.
Okay, so two things. One,
Yeah.
y'all can't hear yourselves echoing through me, can you?
No.
When you're
No.
talking? Okay, good. I have my headset around my neck and it loud enough for me to hear it clearly. Um, besides that, is this really the best photo you could find, Bray?
It was the only thing Google actually gave me. It was like 3 images when I last looked that one up. And that was it.
CP 2532.
Yeah, it's now hiring. Then again, I did get these pictures a while ago.
It uh it appears that some of the photos that are available are from Roblox.
There are SCP fans that are on Roblox, but we don't need to know about that.
I don't know, could just use this image.
That's not, it's from the forest one.
That's not the right SCP.
Well, I mean that's from SCP site Delta Wiki, SCP
Well, the wiki's
2532.
wrong.
Yeah, it's probably a fan site.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything SCP is a fan site.
You know what I meant.
She
Yeah,
means
it's
the
from
core site has the official knowledge.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, this is
Uh,
okay, so this isn't from Roblox, it's from an in development game.
Wow.
Never mind. I'm a dumb. Go
Anyways,
ahead and read.
yeah, this is
I
now
apologize.
hiring.
all right. I can read now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Object Class Keter, Special Containment Procedures. All cases involving the manifestation of previously uncategorized species of a specific area are to be investigated for possibly originating from SCP 2532. In the event that the uncontained SCP 2532 instance is discovered, it has to be removed from its public locations through the use of Protocol Cassandra. Why Cassandra? Any civilians who have been confirmed to have activated 2532 or observed 2532-A are to be administered E-class amnestics. Should I say what E-class amnestics are? No? Okay. Collected
Right.
instances of 2532 are to be...
Wait, I forgot I have the list. Hold on, I can pull it up. I can read the amnestic list.
I was just asking if I should say what that is. And then you were like, empty.
Yeah, I was trying to unmute, but my unmute button wouldn't work.
Oh.
Alright,
And I was just low.
Class E, Inui. To induce psychological complacency within the anomalous. To be frank, Inui isn't actually the proper term for the psychological effects of Class E amnestics. They would more accurately be considered an anti-nostalgia drug. Though they still target the neural pathways for memories, they do not deconsolidate them. Rather, they merely weaken the pathways while dissociating the memory with any emotions, positive or negative, removing any incentive to think about it, and thus allowing it to naturally decay on its own. Class E amnestics are the most effective in situations where suppression of the anomalous is not possible, and thus, in order to preserve a normality, the anomaly must be perceived as normal. Class E amnestics cause subjects to accept the world as it is and forget that it was ever any different.
Collected instances of SCP-2532 are to be filed at Site 63. In the event that a 2532-A population is discovered, the full population is to be secured and isolated. Following this, members of the population are to be euthanized until, euthanized until the population is able to both sustain itself and be realistically contained in Site 104. Each population is to be provided with an environment and a diet which simulate its natural condition, which is, yeah, basically refer to the index below for more information. Okay. Investigation on SCP-2532's origin is ongoing. Description: SCP-2532 designates a set of related help wanted advertisements. In addition to a brief description of the job, the advertisement will list benefits and requirements for the job as well as phone number. In all recorded cases, all listed phone numbers are valid and will produce no anomalous effects when called by someone who has not read the phone number on an SCP 2532 instance. Its subject dials a phone number that they have read in a 2532 instance within 24 hours of reading it. They will be greeted by a human voice claiming to represent various organizations, such as Terrain Employment Agency, Biosphere Enhancement Society, and Coexistential Work Program. Those names suck. No such organizations are known to exist, though. Those are just stupid names. I'm sorry. What kind of names are Terrain Employment Agency, Biosphere Enhancement Society, and Coexistential Work Program? That basically means Earth Employment Agency, Area Enhancement Society, Coexist Work Program. You know how stupid those names are? I'm sorry, Granton, I swear. If the subject inquires about either the advertisement or the employment opportunity described, the voice will ask the subject to hold, following by a period of silence lasting approximately 1 minute. The voice will then apologize to inform the subject that the opening has already been filled. The voice will then ask the subject if they would like to be informed about the future employment opportunities as they become available. Whether or not the subject responds on the affirmative does not seem to have any influence over future effects. Within 13 hours of completion of the phone call, a population of previously undiscovered organisms, SCP-2532-A, both anomalous and non-anomalous species have been observed, will manifest at the area near. Recorded distances range from 1 kilometer to 12.7 kilometers. That's a big distance difference. To where the call was made and where the job conditions described by the SCP instance exist. The SCP-A population will proceed to integrate with the local ecosystem in the area, filling previously unfilled ecological niches. To date, all SCP-A populations have been well adapted to survive their respective environments and ecosystems. Addendum 1: Reproduction of SCP-2532-2A. At 28. Oh, okay. Show block. Okay. Now hiring. Current job opening: clearing of dead plant matter of the deciduous forests. You get to work closely with the environment around you. All dietary needs and housing are covered by employer. Very little workplace hostility. For more information, please contact redacted. I could technically say redacted, which is in parentheses, redacted. Sorry for being a smartass. Addendum 2, abridged list of SCP-2532 and SCP-2532-A variations. Instance -1, job description was feeding birds. And description of resulting -A, small flightless insects which are eaten by avians of urban environments. Fully mature female instances will hold several fertilized eggs in her body before placing themselves in the locations where they are likely. Eggs are highly durable and often survive through the avian's digestive tract, hatching large distances from their parents' original location. That's a very good design. All right, the next instance is -17, job description, taking care of pets. And the description of the resulting -A is a species of large marsupial felines? Am I understanding that? Let me look that word up. Oh, I was misunderstanding that. Marsupialization is a surgical procedure where a cyst or abscess is opened and its edges are. Wait, that's a different word! Goddamn AI getting involved in, like, me looking up. I'm looking up marsupialized, not marsupialization. I'm just going to say that's a type of feline because obviously Google is not going to help me. It's not useful. Should I just try to Yahoo it? I mean, Google used to be the good thing, but Google, yeah. Of course, the Oxford Dictionary has like definitions, but they're like, please sign up as a member first. Okay, word sense. What does marsupialoid mean? Resembling a marsupial. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was going to say that would be the most likely meaning.
Well, there was a similar word that was literally a term for removing cysts and leaving pouches.
Well, yeah.
So marsupialoid means resembling a marsupial. So felines that species of large felines that resemble marsupials. Instances will invade urban areas and abduct domesticated members of Felis cactus. So domesticated cats will get abducted by them. Instances will then adopt abducted cats and treat them as if they treat their infants and juveniles. Wild cats sometimes do that already anyway, which is hilarious. Eventually, abducted cats are fully integrated into the social group, with some interbreeding. Existing instances subsist mostly on a diet of rodents, avians, and small canines. That was way more frustrating. You know what? Next time I have a word I don't know, I'll just use Yahoo. Google was technically considered its superior, but Google has basically devolved so much that Yahoo is better again. I hate it.
For what it's worth, like, at the very least, when Bright and I are reading, most of the time we just, like, let the looking up of those words happen later
Fair enough.
to keep things from getting too stunted.
Oh. One of the instances was reclassified as its own SE. The job description was monitoring radioactive fluctuations and plans to ensure working safety, and the description of the dash A was expunged.
Yeah.
That's spicy. All right, the next instance that was not expunged was dash 103. The job description.
You skipped one.
No, the one that I. Oh, you're right. Oh, sorry. The one before the redacted one that I accidentally skipped was dash 28. The job description was clearing of dead plant matter from the forest. And the description of the resulting dash A is a species of hexagonal reptilians measuring an average of approximately 2.2 meters in length. Reptiles seem to be the reptiles seem to be herbivorous decomposers, ingesting large amounts of dead plant matter which has fallen to the forest floor, followed by digging burrows and hibernating in them deco- while ingesting plant matter decomposes. Instances have no known predator or prey. Basically, when something is herbivore decomposer, basically they eat the plant matter that is decomposing. They don't like the fresh stuff. They like the stuff that's kind of decayed. They're weird, but they exist. And you know what? Those sound like nice lizards. Okay. The next instance that I have not already covered because I accidentally skipped 28 to read the data expunged is the instance which is dash 103. The description was placing flowers at graves. The description of the resulting dash A is a species of non toxic fungus. Instances are red in coloration with vaguely floral caps. Structured caps. Instances have shown a particular affinity for growing in cemeteries, presumably because of high volumes of decomposing matter. That actually makes a lot of sense. Fungi in general likes decomposing matter, so that that just makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is dash 142. The job description is pest control. And the resulting description of dash A, the description of resulting dash A is disembodied jaw structures which resemble enlarged versions of those found in, I have a type of megalodon? What? I need to.
Yeah, Carcharodon megalodon, which I think is an outdated uh taxonomical name for megalodon.
Oh, so it's just the megalodon.
Yeah, it's just
The
the
teeth, the jaw structure of a megalodon.
yeah.
Okay, instances are capable of unaided propulsion through the air. Pressure through the front of the jaw leads to a digestive tract presumed to exist in an extra-dimensional space. Instances prey primarily on large canis. So these are weird, disembodied, anomalous megalodon mouths that might just be giant uh, invisible megalodons, and they eat dogs.
So, here's the thing about this. What I'm seeing is this SCP, if left unintended, would completely destroy the food web in some instances.
Well, no.
Wow, wouldn't?
The what it was mentioned that
Wow.
basically it anomalously places things into positions on the food web
Oh.
that aren't being filled.
Oh. So wait, is it actually doing anything bad?
I, d- Arguably not, aside from like having people's
Let,
pets get yeeted.
let me look up to see if it's actually eating dogs. Maybe it's a specific thing on the Canis. Oh, it wasn't Canis that I thought it was. I was thinking of Canid, and Canis is apparently seagulls. It eats seagulls.
It's an invisible megalodon that eats seagulls.
Yeah,
This okay. That on top of the fact that I was going to mention that that previously mentioned lizard species would be such a good lizard species for the pet, like for like the lizard hobby, because it's literally a vegan lizard that
Mhm.
you can just feed older scraps of food. Like it's effectively serving the same function as having millipedes as a pet, but it's a lizard. This is spood tier.
Ah, yeah, I was gonna say it's not really dangerous except the fact that the Foundation can't stop it.
Yeah. Like
well, I would imagine it would be dangerous if the megalodon was interested
Oh
inside
yeah.
seagulls, but I will admit it is not. It is only interested in eating specifically seagulls.
Yeah.
So yes,
uh,
food
Yeah.
here.
yeah,
It could
this
be dangerous, but it chooses not to be.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
Have a good pee, I guess.
Let's see.
Hatchet, you have control of stream. I believe in you.
Uh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, Carcharodont uh is a let's see. So Carcharodont is the class, not class, is the taxon for white sharks. So that's got the great white sharks. That's got the um my brain just died. There's like a small handful of sharks in this group.
oh, so you're saying that taxonomy is from when people still thought that those two were related when they're not remotely?
Yeah, basically. Like originally Megalodon was nested into the Carcharodon uh um phylum, but I think it was more recent DNA evidence has taken it out of there.
Yeah, because they're not remotely related. They did DNA stuff, they found that out.
Well, I mean, they're related in the sense that they're another type of shark. They're just not a white shark.
Well, yeah, they're just not. There's a wide variety of. Shark are literally just a type of fish. You know how
Oh
vague
yeah.
that is?
Well, yeah.
Uh,
Also, now I'm sad because I uh ended up clicking on the Wikipedia page for the great white, and I'm reminded that it's critically endangered.
I'm sorry. Why am I
Sad.
apologizing? I'm not one of the reasons it's endangered. Although, admit, a lot of the history's Shark Week likely didn't fucking help. It's like, oh, this thing that's actually very useful for the environment, let's get people afraid so they kill it.
Well, to be fair, like that kind of falls downstream of like the um
Alright, I'm back.
was it the yeah. I think that's like downstream of the Jaws effect, which actually like largely has been like it obviously affected it to some degree, but it was by far not at all the biggest effect on the populations.
Yeah,
Because like the main thing that uh screwed over shark populations is the finning trade over in East Asia, where they didn't have a big shark craze.
That's fair. And they have that thing with shark fin soup, even though the fin
Yeah,
adds literally no texture and no flavor of any kind.
yeah.
Ah,
Oh, this Keter class is Christmas. Fuck.
Yeah. You want to read the next one, Hitch? Because this is actually really short.
I like short. I was just skimming through the Wikipedia page uh for the white sharks.
Uh, yeah. This one is the gift that keeps on giving.
Ooh. Let's see, what's the 2536?
Mhm.
Drink time. All right. Item number SCP-2536. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. As the nature of 2536 makes physical containment impossible, containment procedures will instead focus on the manner in which personnel should conduct themselves in the event of a manifestation. To enforce this, as of December 23rd, 19 redacted, copies of these containment procedures are to be distributed among all personnel currently in the employ of the SCP Foundation during the month of December. In the event that 2536 appears before a member of personnel, they are to refrain from accepting any offered gifts, leave the vicinity of 2536, and immediately inform their supervisor. Gifts presented to personnel by 2536 are only to be accepted under strict testing conditions, and after testing are to be confiscated immediately. Description: 2536 is a Christmas tree with purple and white decorations, approximately 2 meters tall and comprised primarily of plastic. A speaker is attached to the base of 2536, which loudly plays the song I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by the band Wizard on a constant loop. Well, that would be fucking annoying. 2536 only manifests during the month of December, and its status during the rest of the year is currently unknown. During the month of December, 2536 will appear before at least 6 members of Foundation personnel, one at a time, regardless of distance between them. No reports have been found from the public or elements outside the Foundation indicating 2536 appearing to anyone apart from the Foundation personnel. Upon appearance before a member of personnel, a gift in the form of a wrapped present consistent with traditional Christmas practices will be located beneath 2536. This gift, hereafter referred to as SCP 2536 1, will contain an item which the chosen member of the personnel greatly desires, whether consciously or subconsciously. In cases where the desired item could be too large to feasibly fit inside 2536 1, its interior dimensions become significantly larger than its exterior ones. If the targeted members of the personnel if the targeted member of personnel ignores 2536 and leaves the area, 2536 will disappear after 3 to 5 minutes. 2536 was first discovered when it manifested in the office of Site 26 Director, uh, 26 Director Letter during a lockdown after containment breach of SCP Redacted. At the time, SCP 2536 1 contained the required materials to temporarily shut down SCP redacted and return it to its chambers. Inspection of 2536 by nearby researchers revealed the following note attached to 2536's base. Here at data expunged, let's see, what's the note that no information was actually been removed from this note. This is the original wording of the message. So the message actually read, here at data expunged. We love nothing more than to watch the good work you fellows do. Your empathy and moral integrity are an inspiration to us all. And so, in this season of giving, we have decided to present you brave heroes who do so much for us with a gift of your own. Enjoy. Merry Christmas. OSN. Okay, so addendum 2536-1 sample records of SCP 2536-1. Member personnel. Sub-Director letter. Materials required to shut down and subdue SCP redacted. Yeah. Personnel. Dr. Landis. Contained several excited Welsh Corgi puppies. DNA analysis revealed the puppies were all genetically identical.
Oh, that's
Aw.
adorable.
D2537-2. And the contents, a middle-aged woman and a prepubescent boy, later identified as said D class's wife and son. After a brief interview in dosage of Class A amnestics, they were returned to their home without incident. Oh. Let's see. Member of personnel, redacted. A gold wristwatch. Dr. Ryans. A copy of this file and containment procedures related to 2536. Note that this incident took place before 12/23/19 redacted, and Dr. Ryans was thus unaware of the nature of 2536 upon its manifestation. New containment procedures were implemented as a result of this incident. Agent Aurelia, unknown. According to recovered footage from the area, 2536 manifested while Agent Aurelia was infiltrating a suspected location of Marshall Carter in dark activity, thus revealing his location to them. Agent Aurelia's current status and location are unknown.
Oh
Uh,
no.
D-39-122. See Incident 2536-1 and SCP Redacted. See Incident 2536-2. On December the 24th, 2000 redacted at Site-09, SCP-2536 appeared before D-39-12-2 and several other D-Class personnel outside of testing hours. Before security could intervene, D-39-122 received several anomalous weapons.
Oh no.
Footnote. Weapons showed the capacity to disintegrate security personnel upon direct hits or cause spatial warping inside their bodies upon glancing blows.
Oh no.
With weapons from 2536-1 distributed them among nearby D-Class personnel and attempted an armed escape. Although this revolt was quickly put down by on-site security, hostilities resulted in several Euclid and Keter level containment breaches, necessitating site-wide lockdown and causing significant personnel casualties. Incident 2536-2. On December redacted 2000 redacted at Site 11 during testing of SCP redacted 2536 appeared before it. SCP redacted retrieved a small device from 2536-1 consistent in appearance with its own native technology. Upon activating the device, SCP redacted disappeared completely from Site 11 and is now believed to have transported itself to an as of yet unknown location on the planet. It is now confirmed that 2536 considers objects and entities under containment by the Foundation to be Foundation personnel.
So this SCP isn't inherently evil. It's just trying to spread Christmas cheer.
So it's trying to spread Christmas cheer. It just happens to be doing it in a manner that could cause significant harm.
Yeah.
It's like, here's this stuff that could possibly end the world. I love you.
Yeah, like, well, it's not like giving people things that could end the world. It's just giving the wrong things. My brain just dumped.
Well,
Yeah.
like, what about the D class?
Yeah,
Those
like,
weapons were basically world ending if they weren't removed from the D class.
I mean, I don't see how that's the case. They're
Well,
just
said it could
disintegrators.
dissolve like things that it shot at, right?
Yeah, we don't have
What could
reason
it
to
not
believe that
dissolve?
like these personal, like, human-sized weapons could destroy the earth.
Well, it could with enough time if it wasn't grabbed from them.
Hmm, maybe.
Well, I mean,
Anyway,
think about it. It basically destroys everything that it shoots, right?
I think it just
I've
said
been
the
shown
people.
capacity to disintegrate security personnel upon direct hits or cause spatial warping inside their bodies upon glancing blows.
Okay, so it's just SCP security
Yeah.
Looks
personnel?
like
Okay, never mind.
Yes, it's
it.
very specific.
So, I don't know where the fuck to put this.
I.
Because
Hmm?
the fact that it can manifest and give like deep-seated desires to the SCPs themselves
Oh yeah.
could make this really dangerous. Like it just spontaneously decides to show up and give I don't know uh fucking six why am I forgetting that it just decides to give uh the indestructible lizard like a button to launch all nukes on the planet. Like,
That would technically be exactly what he wants.
yeah. So like, I without jumping to massive assumptions,
Yeah.
um, where do we want to put this?
Hmm.
I guess that's the thing. How would one rate just the average containment breach in terms of its threat level?
Right.
And it's like, I don't know if that's a question that can be answered because it varies depending on which site.
Right.
And the SCP.
Yeah, and the SCP. Like, uh,
Like
I,
999 isn't even put in containment, but like if the old man got out, it would be bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so the biggest thing here is that, uh, this is a special. Oh, I don't know. Like, because feasibly, we
Mm-hmm.
could put this in ZK class for the same reason as the last thing we put in ZK class.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to, like, jump to those conclusions with something this level of mundane.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know where we should put this.
Well, it is mundane, but at the same time, if it granted the wrong wish, it could really like like the first instance the tree popping up probably did save people, but it also killed people at the same time on the
Yeah.
different time when it gave the weapons to the D class, because
Yeah.
killing those SCP personnel didn't just kill the personnel, it allowed SCPs to get out that were dangerous.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'll say, based upon the same reasoning as the previous one,
Yeah.
in which it could cause an absurd containment breach, and depending on which site that happens in, it could cause a ZK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we can put this in ZK again.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Who would think that a
What
tree would be ZK?
what the fuck is with our fucking roll of things today? We've
And
had
think of
3
this:
ZKs.
the invisible megalodon isn't ZK.
Yeah, like we've had like one affect certain groups. We've had one spood tier, and we've had 3 ZKs.
Ah,
I want to go back to invisible megalodon eating seagulls.
that was hilarious. Then again, there's a reason why that one ended up food tier. It was fun.
Yeah, that one was just fun. And like feasibly, I dare say that like even though they're anomalous, that SCP could end up actually repairing some like ecological damage.
Yeah.
Like for example, um what if uh that pest control thing happened, but it was interpreted as, say, getting rid of invasive species in the Everglades. So it just creates an anomalous new predator that just hunts everything that's invasive in the Everglades. The
Also
Yeah.
hunt's
think
called the lionfish.
also think like this of this. The marsupial like cat might like take a few people's cats, but it would also get rid of the issue people have had for a long time with feral cats disrupting the ecosystem,
Mm.
because that has actually been a big issue in a lot of places.
Mm. Well, I guess that's the thing. Like, it would still be like they would still be acting as cats. Like, I don't know if that practically alters the situation.
Well, with the issue with cats that have been domesticated and get out is they're not the same as a wild cat. They don't have the same instincts, so they end
Mm.
up being destructive.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The next SCP is 2546, a retroviral nightmare.
Oh, that
Not it.
sounds fun.
Not
Not
it.
it.
I was.
Bright, it's your turn.
Yeah, I was already gonna read it. Jesus.
Well, read it now, but by force.
Fuck you. Anyways, item SCP-2546, Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures SCP-2546-1 through 600 are stored in a standard BSL-3 facility within Site-234. All work with the samples is carried out in appropriate BSL-3 personnel, protective equipment, and conditions. Personnel assigned to work with 2546 samples should have a minimum of 5 years of experience working with retroviruses, of both anomalous and non-anomalous nature. Requests for creation of additional aliquots? Are subject to level 4 review.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know what that fucking means.
You could always Yahoo it. I am going to start my laundry very quick.
Alright, want me to
Okay.
continue?
Uh, you can. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Alright. In the event of accidental exposure, affected individuals are to be placed on antiretrovirals and monitored for changes in cell surface receptors, genetic markers, bloodstream hormone levels, and behavioral patterns. Should affected individuals begin displaying any physical or mental alterations consistent with 2546 infection, they are to be placed under level 2 humanoid quarantine. Once an infected individual's viral load has fallen below infection thresholds, they are to receive minor plastic surgery and comprehensive Class C amnestic treatment. Alright, so hold on. Let me look at Class C. Class C, targeted retrograde. Class C amnestics are used in conjunction with high fidelity neuroimaging and transcranial stimulation. Neuroimagers will locate the specific memory engrams within the subject's brain, and upon reaching those specific engrams, the amnestics will be activated through the use of precise, non-invasive stimulation, typically ultrasound or magnetic fields. The benefit of Class C amnestics is that they allow for the surgically precise removal of memories regardless of when they formed, and are ideal for expunging classified data from the minds of D-Class personnel, and neutralize humanoid SCPs prior to their release. The major drawback of Class C amnestics is the required equipment's lack of portability. As such, Class C amnestics are most efficiently administered at Foundation sites, though mobile amnestic field clinics are currently under development. Alright, that's Class C amnestics.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the event of an outbreak, MTF G7 plague tamers are to be deployed in Protocol Anthrolinty 5 enacted. Due to the slow activating nature of 2546, infections may not be detectable or become apparent until several weeks following exposure. Containment of infection following exposure, especially if 2546 instances corresponding to existing Foundation personnel, is of the highest priority. Individuals exposed to 2546 strains corresponding to high-ranking Foundation employees should be monitored closely by medical personnel. When these individuals fall below the infectious threshold, they are to be briefed on their current situation and offered facial reconstruction and employment in a post of their choosing. Alright, so Protocol Anthrolinty 5. Protocol Anthrolinty 5 is composed of a series of quarantine steps designed to contain and destroy outbreaks of 2546. This protocol is composed of the following measures: identification and isolation of known infected individuals, isolation of individuals known to have exchanged body fluids with infected individuals, analysis of local water supplies and blood banks for presence of 2546, chlorine purge of contaminated water supply and destruction of contaminated blood packs, minor reconstructive plastic surgery, broad spectrum treatment with Class C amnestics, and introduction of viable background following viral clearance. Release and dissemination of false information regarding the disappearance of infected individuals, reintegration of infected individuals into normal society. Foundation reconnaissance personnel identifying any individual consistent with the description of point of interest. 25%.
Right, you're
Huh?
cutting out a bunch.
God damn it. I fucking hate Discord. Anyways, Foundation reconnaissance personnel identifying any individual consistent with the description of point of interest 2546-A or to learn MTF Chi 7 and Tau 9 bookworms. Attempt to capture and or neutralize point of interest 2546-A or to observe utmost caution. Description: SCP-2546 is the collective designation for 600 identified and unknown number of unidentified anomalous retroviruses. All 2546 instances are retroviruses of the genus Lentiviridae and are structurally similar to other retroviruses within the group, especially HIV. All 2546 have a capsid 720 nanometer in diameter, 6 times as large as HIV's, and are capable of binding to the surfaces of all cells within the human body, regardless of cell surface profile. 2546 primarily spreads in the wild through sexual/intimate contact and or accidental bloodstream exposure, making person-to-person spread primarily limited to sexual partners. Unlike other viruses, both anomalous and non-anomalous, 2546's primary function is not only to propagate itself, but also to alter its host. 2546 genome is thus quite large and codes for an additional 34 proteins, which perform its primary anomalous effect. 2546's anomalous effect begins upon infection of a single cell within the host's body. Upon entry, the virus makes its way to the center of the cell where it begins shedding its protein shell. 2546 will then proceed to dismantle the existing chromosomes, utilizing 34 proteins to unwind, destroy, and replace the host chromosome, utilizing the denatured particles as building blocks. It is unclear how exactly these proteins are able to synthesize and organize these new chromosomes without a template. However, thorough analysis has pinpointed several repeated sequences/structures which are unique to each virus and may be related to this process. The average time between initial infection and chromosome replacement is estimated to be between 3 to 5 days. This rate increases exponentially as more viral particles are introduced. Altered cells reproduce virus continuously for a period of 3 months, at the end of which they become impermeable to further infection with the same virus. 2546 primarily spreads throughout the body via the immune system, where it takes advantage of the close proximity necessary for immune cells to fulfill their functions, and by proxy prevents the host immune cells from negatively reacting with cells possessing replaced chromosomes. As a direct result of 2546's chromosome replacement, infected individuals are subject to a long, painful, and severely distressing transformation, wherein, on the genetic, physical, and mental levels, they undergo complete transmogrification into the corresponding person. It should be noted that the transformed individuals are only able to recall the correspondence memories to a certain point. This point is believed to be the moment at which said individuals' chromosomes were harvested. Research investigating possible similarities in mechanism with SCP-2009 is pending approval. This transformation's length varies based on the viral load that the individual was originally exposed to, ranging anywhere from 1 to 10 years. Symptoms of infection vary from individual to individual, and many may not be noticeable immediately due to the lengthy reproductive cycle of each virus. However, some of the more notable symptoms are detailed below. Alterations of skeletal structure, including loss/gain of height, increase/decrease in muscle mass and fat content, muscle ache/fatigue, sharp and or chronic pain in the bones, progression/reduction of aging, may or may not be physically noticeable dependent on the infected party's age and corresponding virus. Physical dissociation / loss of sense of self, changes in skin pigmentation, behavioral alterations / personality shifts / changes in preferences, slow loss of personal memories, and gradual gain of the corresponding person's memories. X-ray crystal structure analysis of the virus capsid has revealed a number of molecular structures resembling thaumaturgical symbols. Foundation thaumaturgy experts have identified 32 symbols, except in -1, where only 2 symbols are present associated with memory and personality, which are currently believed to be the proximal mechanisms by which the virus induces memory and personality changes in the host. These symbols appear to have no biological function and are most likely engineered into the virus's structure. Changes to internal organs affecting their function, hormone level fluctuations, reproductive organ alterations, confusion, disorientation, and ability to recognize themselves and/or significant cognitive dissonance. In rare cases, death due to internal trauma. SCP-2446 was first discovered by Foundation personnel, implanted amongst Redacted University Local Medical Center. Kyle Redacted, officially dubbed Patient Zero, came to the center seeking medical treatment for a variety of symptoms now known to be associated with 2546. Warning: attempted access detected. Protocol HEPA DNA 442 has been primed. Security clearance level 4 required. Interconnections. Mission recognized. Protocol HEPA DNA 42 deactivating. Due to SCP-2446 anomalous properties, information regarding the origin of each virus chromosomes are kept behind high-level security clearance. It is necessary to safeguard Site-234 personnel, in addition to preventing the creation of additional high-ranking Foundation personnel from which information might be extracted by antagonistic GOIs. Following each outbreak, a high-ranking Foundation official has been the target of short, cryptic, and threatening messages centering around hatred of the Foundation and its operations, or the loss of children. The majority of personnel who have received such messages were either direct correspondence with the outbreak or will later be connected to future outbreaks. A complete list of these personnel has been compiled and is available upon request. All attempts to identify the person of interest behind the 2546 outbreaks have failed, as the individual displays explicit mastery of covering their electronic trail. The following table comprises a small portion of the 600 or so variants discovered and described by the Foundation at this time. To access the full list, please contact Site-234 Director Sherry or Leap Andrews. Alright. Variant designation -1. Chromosome origin and redacted 20-year-old student at Redacted University. Prominent member of the sorority Delta Delta Delta. Alright, patient 0. Kyle Redacted 21-year-old agent, 20-year-old student at Redacted University. Prominent member of the fraternal organization Alpha Tau Omega. Outbreak description. Kyle Redacted began displaying symptoms of 2546 infection after an intermittent period of exposure. It should be noted that Mr. Redacted was unwilling to reveal the day upon which he engaged in initial intimate contact with Miss Redacted. At time of containment, Mr. Redacted had lost 27.2 kilograms in weight and 22 centimeters in height. Mr. Redacted was also known to have begun development of breast tissue. Investigation into all recent contact with Mr. Redacted led to detection of high levels of virus in Miss Redacted. It is now believed that all subsequent variants were engineered from Miss Redacted, and as such, she is currently being held under indefinite quarantine within Site-234. No message was found. Alright, variant 16. Chromosome origin: Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan and fifth Khangan of the Mongol Empire. Patient 0, redacted. Initial outbreak resulted in a short border skirmish between countries of. How the fuck do I say these two countries?
Uh,
Wh-
Kyrgyzstan and
Pakistan.
Tajikistan.
Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan before G7 was able to contain 153 infected individuals. 68 civilians and an estimated 15 military personnel were killed during the fighting, including 23 children. The incident was covered up as a training exercise, simulating a land war in Asia, and a number of casualties blamed on the mistaken use of live ammunition rather than blank rounds. The message received by Dr. Sherry Andrews 3 days after the outbreak was contained. How much is normalcy worth? Will you sacrifice your children to survive? Will you watch them turn before your eyes? Alright. Variant number 74. Chromosome origin. Current United States Senator Bernie Sanders.
Wait, what?
Patient 0. Rachel Nguyen, 7-year-old daughter of Foundation Level 2 researcher Laren Nguyen. Outbreak was limited to one individual. Miss Nguyen expired 3 months after infection due to massive internal trauma. The outbreak is now believed to have been a failed attempt to neutralize Mr. Nguyen, based on his research into the use of physics to harness thaumaturgy. Message received via text message by all members of O5 Council 2 days following the containment of the outbreak. It is a shame she had to die. A little slip of my needle, and there she went. Did you watch as the light left her eyes? Of the 5, multiples of 3 are available to me.
It,
The fuck kind of asshole says that?
that the virus tried to turn a 7-year-old into Bernie Sanders. But because it was trying to turn a 7-year-old into a full-grown man, she died. What the fuck is this article?
Variant number 259. Chromosome origin 05-3. Patient 0, redacted. Foundation plants within the Chaos Insurgency reported the capture and imprisonment of 053 at a known CI stronghold, a joint assault between MTF Alpha 1, Red Right Hand, MTF Nu 7, Hammer Down, and MTF G7, Plague Tamers, was able to penetrate the facility and recover 053. Recovery of an infected individual became impossible when they revealed a small-scale nuclear device attached to their waist, informing the rescue force that it would be detonated upon removal and could be activated remotely. Indenting medical operative George Redacted was able to draw 3 vials of blood from the individual before all 3 MTS successfully evacuated. An estimated 1,300 Chaos Insurgency personnel were incinerated in the blast. As is received by Site 91 senior staff, your leaders think themselves invincible, untouchable. Even they can't avoid thought itself. Variant 343. Chromosome origins. Nuru Jua, Site 91 director, head of containment for SCP-2559. Chromosome. Patient 0. 3 unknown individuals, identities unknown, not in Foundation gene banks. The outbreak was first discovered when 3 individuals appeared in the cities of New York, Tokyo, and Beziers. All 3 individuals were in the mid stages of 2546 infection, with disproportionately sized limbs and pigmented patches of skin following their appearance. 2559 breach containment resulting in 540 casualties. MTF G7, Beta 7, MTF Epsilon 4 sugar pill were deployed to each location and successfully contained 2559. Dissemination teams accredited the deaths to the particularly virulent strain of influenza. Messages received by Dr. Shirley Gillespie. You keep so many secrets from them, yourself, and even your son. Do they really matter? Virus variant 445. Chromosome origin. Dr. Ralph Roget. Patient 0, 15 individuals. Identities unknown due to complete transformation. SB-2546-445 was discovered upon Dr. Roget's return to his apartments in Site 77 following an extended stay at Site 19 on October 5th, 2016. Upon entry to his apartment, Dr. Roget reported feeling uneasy, at which point he began consciously exploring the residence with weapon drawn. As Dr. Roget moved through the apartment, he discovered a number of body parts which had been severed using surgical instruments, including heads, limbs, and genitalia, which belonged to individuals he recognized as physically identical to himself. Blood samples from these images revealed the presence of 445. Text message received by Dr. Roget shortly after full exploration of his residence. They so wanted to come home, they fell to pieces when they learned they couldn't. Variant 542, Dr. Leap Andrews, co-director of Site 234. Is the chromosome origin. Patient 0, sadly redacted 8-year-old daughter of Miss and Mr. Redacted, close friends of Site 234's co-director Sherry and Leap Andrews. Foundation personnel became aware of 542's existence when the entire administration of Site 234 received an email containing a link to an anonymously hosted video sharing site, from what is now believed to have been a dummy account. This link connected to a time-lapse video 20 minutes and 15 seconds long of Sally Redacted being inoculated with an 2546 variant by a masked figure. Detailed analysis of each frame by Foundation video specialists have revealed several characteristics about the masked figure as described in the following section. And subsequently transforming into Dr. Andrews. The video is of particular note in that it would return to a normal time frame to display particularly graphic and or disturbing portions of the transformation, including the development of genitalia and heightened vocalizations of pain. Unlike Miss Nguyen, Miss Redacted is seen to endure the entire transformation without expiring. Miss Redacted's fate is currently unknown. A vial of blood containing 542 arrived on Dr. Andrews' desk the following day. Message attached to the email. As my daughters faded in my arms, the stars above danced in bright flames and lights, screaming to right that which was wronged. No more will Miss Sally remember them as her parents, but they will remember how you let her perish. And the final variant, 600. Chromosome origin, Site 234, co-director Sherry Andrews. Patient 0, 34 individuals, all members of the University of Alabama's redacted fraternity, who were believed to have disappeared in a boating incident 2 years before. The outbreak was discovered when Dr. Sherry Andrews emerged from her home on the morning of December 6, 2016, wherein she became aware of all 19 deceased and 15 near-death infected individuals mounted on the Andrews front lawn. Each individual had been nailed in the hands and ankles to an enlarged wooden version of the Foundation's emblem. All 34 were noted to be in the various phases of infection, with 2 instances having completely transformed before, one of whom was still alive at the time of appearance. Security footage from the outdoor cameras around the residence is not notable, and that the emblems did not appear until exactly 30 seconds before Dr. Andrews opened the door. Message written in blood on the grass. Bleed for me. Update. August 11th, 2017, due to the events surrounding the discovery of 2546 542, Foundation analysts are now pursuing leads regarding a specific physical description as of the current iteration of this document. Point of interest 2546 A is believed to possess the following characteristics: female, long blonde hair, physical scarring on the hands and lower arms due to severe burns of an unknown nature, slim to medium build. Cross-referencing anomalies bearing similar properties to 2546 and persons matching description given have returned an incident involving an isolated outbreak of 2009. The outbreak was noted to be unusual in that it occurred in an isolated portion of the Pacific Northwest and that only 2 individuals were infected, 2 young children. Foundation personnel were alerted when a woman matching the given description attempted to call for an ambulance. All information regarding the identity of this individual has since been removed by unknown means. The individual is estimated to be anywhere from 18 to 14 years of age and is believed to possess a number of powerful thaumaturgical abilities, advanced knowledge of computing systems, and biomolecular engineering techniques far beyond even the most advanced Foundation research facilities. Due to person of interest 2546-A's engineering of 2546, it's extremely likely that they have created further instances of themselves and thus are not working alone. It's also highly likely that person of interest 2546-A no longer retains her original form, as her engineering prowess would allow her to create viruses lacking the memory and personality.
Bright, you're cutting out again.
Oh my god! Discord needs to fix this fucking voice channel problems. Alright. It's also highly likely that person of interest 2546-A no longer retains her original form, as her engineering prowess would allow her to create viruses lacking the memory and personality altering features of the viruses discovered to date. Thus far, person of interest 2546-A has presented no demands and offered no reasoning as to the continued harassment of Foundation personnel. The individual is believed to use a retrovirus to achieve her intended aims, emulating the pain of watching loved ones lose their identities right in front of them. Based on the duration of the pain associated with 2546's effects, how she chooses to access and assesses her targets is not known, though her perceived mental instability could indicate that there is no pattern to her choices, only that she seeks to induce suffering in those she perceives as responsible for the loss of her children. So this woman just went to war with the Foundation.
And her weapon of choice is a virus that turns people into other people.
I think that person, honestly, I think that person is an asshole. Well,
Yeah.
think about it.
To
They've
say the
done all
least.
these horrible things, and then they're just like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
your fault. No, no, no.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, bitch.
Yeah, also, it states in the article only 600 confirmed, which means there's probably more.
Yeah.
I can't not hate them. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. So, where the fuck do we put this?
I know.
I would say.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it probably wouldn't be certain groups, mainly because it looks like it spreads like wildfire if left
Well,
unattended.
it's not that it spreads like wildfire. It spreads at the average rate of any other STD. The
Yeah.
thing is that it's being purposefully implanted in people by what is effectively a serial killer with
Mm-hmm.
an absurd amount of reach.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree that certain group doesn't feel right, but like that's where we put like most
I,
other
I don't like putting that under certain groups, especially since she did shit like basically live stream some child's like suffering for funsies. Like you
Wait,
couldn't prevent this, ha ha ha.
well, I mean, that wasn't the. I don't think that was a child in that case, but like,
I believe it was, and
Yeah,
they said
I.
it was in fact a child. Only this time they did not die, and they do not know where the child is
yeah.
now.
Patient zero was Sally Redacted, 8-year-old daughter of Miss and Mrs. Redacted.
Oh, damn. Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but like the reason why I'm saying that I don't like normally, like with most other like serial killer esque
Mm-hmm.
SCPs that we've done, I put it into a certain group
Yeah.
because you know like Jack the Ripper isn't gonna kill an entire city.
Mm-hmm.
This one though,
Yeah.
if like her basically clones that she's made with this virus keep doing this, I think it does feasibly get up to that level eventually.
Yeah, mainly because, like, if there is more of her, like, if there are clones, she can attack multiple SCP agent families or doctor families at once.
Yeah. And all of that on top of the fact that she's very clearly using a whole bunch of seemingly random people in these incidents as well.
Yeah.
Like she's not only affecting the SCP Foundation, she's grabbing randos and turning them into other people to engage in her sick joke against the Foundation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not cool, bitch. Just
Yeah,
leave the fucking children alone.
it's just like the most egregiously massive serial killer.
Alright, Jerry, you got the next one. I have no idea if this is connected to the SCP, but this is what Google gave me.
I'll look at it in 1 second. I am almost done drawing this picture.
That's
It's
such a good boy.
it's nicknamed Dog Days of Summer.
This is just a good boy.
2547.
Yeah, 2547.
But also look at its picture in
I
the
saw.
VC chat. Oh, okay.
It
Sorry.
looks like a gray wolf.
He
What? Doing the yawns.
is a good boy.
Item number SCP-2547, Object Class Keter. Special containment procedures. Due to the nature of SCP-2547, effective containment is not possible at this time. Towns determined to be susceptible to 2547 manifestation events are to be monitored via remote surveillance, and evacuation of the population is to be attempted if deemed possible. Towns undergoing an event are to be dosed aerially with Class A amnestics at the end of the manifestation event. Should I say what Class A amnestics are?
Here, hold on, I got it. Give me a moment. Alright, Class A General Retrograde. While Class A amnestics will technically deconsolidate memories at random, they will mostly affect engrams with the memory reconsolidation window of 5 to 6 hours. As these are the memories that will be at the forefront of the subject's mind, this is especially true for highly unique episodic memories such as encounters with anomalous phenomena. While these will be the most effective after initial exposure, it's possible to reopen a memory reconsolidation window, allowing for amnestics officers to trigger and then erase specific memories long after their initial formation.
Description: SCP-2547 is a pack of approximately 4,000 different not members of the family Canidae, which is basically include all the canines. All the canines. That's a good summary. But the footnote says including dogs, foxes, wolves, coyotes, jackals, and dingoes. And since it says includes, I'm assuming it means all the members of the family. More than those are just the easiest to say.
Yeah, it's the taxon that's just the dogs
Yeah.
and all of the dog's closest relatives.
My favorite one is Doles. I love Doles.
Doles are quite a vibe. We need more doles to be
Yeah.
recognized by people.
And we need them to be less killed because apparently
That
the
too.
countries they come from think they're evil because they live in groups and scream, which is stupid.
Right.
But anyway, members of SCP-2547 do not need food or water. Any attempts to harm, kill, or tranquilize a member of 2547 will result in the rest of the group becoming hostile and aggressive. Members of 2547 can be separated from the group and detained, but will disappear the instant they are no longer directly being observed and rejoin the SCP-2547. DNA testing has revealed that the members are genetically identical to human beings. What? SCP-2547 only manifests in rural American towns. Affected states include Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, and Southern California. The town must have a population of less than 3,000 as well as a reservoir and a church. Manifestations will occur only between June 1st and August 31st, my birthday. For the duration of the event, local temperature will remain above 32 degrees Celsius and all local precipitation will cease. That's pretty easy for Southern California. The following is a timeline of SCP-2547 manifestation events. Immediately upon arrival, the town's power out 4 a.m. SCP-2547 members form a border around the most densely populated portion of the town and block all attempts at escape. Attempts to enter a vehicle will provoke an attack from the SCP. 3 days after their arrival, all water in the reservoir will disappear. A male coyote wearing a leather coat altered to accommodate skeletal structure and worn wooden crucifix will appear. This entity has been designated as SCP-2547-1, that refers to itself as Reverend. -1 is capable of both bipedal and locomotion and speech. Pastor Coyote. Time between -1 appearance and departure. -1 will take up residence in the local church and hold regular sermons 4 times a day. The sermons usually consist of diatribe on how modern society has forgotten -1 and siblings and how they have lost the ability to dream as they once did. -1 ends its sermon by asking if any of the members of the congregation would like to trade for some water, but does not specify what goods it would take in exchange. -1 will accept the following as payment: any kind of meat, pepper, flint, arrowheads, knives, whips, leather, burlap belts, the thorns of a saguaro cactus. I mean, saguaro? Saguaro. Is that how you say it? You know, let me look it up very quick.
Oh no, I just find it funny that you're fighting with your own tongue.
Uh, okay, I roll.
Saguaro.
Oh, saguaro. I was saying it totally. Thorns of a saguaro cactus, broken glass, lost teeth, ties, carved sculptures, the corpses of domestic cats, amber, canvas shoes, peyote, chewing tobacco, sexual favors, of course, sulfur, men's button up shirts, animal skulls, stories with SCP 1 as the protagonist. The latter appears to be a favorite to Dash 1, and the highest recorded amounts of water were produced in exchange for such narratives, followed by volumes of produced in exchange for sexual favors. Ah, god damn it. Dash 1 will store its payments in church and assign members of 2547 to guard the pile from theft. If the payment given is deemed acceptable, Dash 1 will regurgitate 60 to 120 liters of water. If the payment does not fall into any of the above categories, Dash 1 will transform the offender into a member of the Canid family who will then join 2547. These altered individuals do not appear to retain memories or intelligence from before their transformation. Departure 2547 and Dash 1 will remain until the next full moon after the initial SCP 1 manifestation date, upon which Dash 1 will lead 2547 away from town, using SCP 2547 to transport goods it obtained. An excerpt from Dash 1's speeches has been provided for reference. Oh man, how do I sound like the biggest douchebag in the world? Let me try.
Wait, I could do this if you want.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a sec. Let me pause my game. Okay. Give me a sec. Let me warm up, but I'm gonna mute to do it so that the reveal is good. Okay. You ask me, who am I? I ask you, where am I? I'm the beginning. There was the world, and the world was not. No, word. I'm sorry. In the beginning, there was the word, and the word was not a word at all, but a howl. Howl. Very good. Very nice for howls. Where am I in the great, in the meat brain? Encased in bone, dripping with brine, sizzling with sparks? Where am I in your chemical soup, your woke chemical soup? Am I sacred? Have I been on the cross? Once I was woven into you, all your kind, deep in the pit of yourself from which you pull your wildest tales and strangest desires. I gave you the gift that saved you. I would have been your Eden. I would have tended you as a shepherd his sheep. I taught you all how to lie, and you thought the only way you gibbering sheep of apes survived is through deceit. You have forgotten me. You have replaced me with a serpent who crawls on the ground. 2547 stops and begins to sob. I give you stories. You worshipped me once, and now you're disgusted. Heretic, you say. No, I am a martyr, like your beloved carpenter. You dare not look upon me for fear of burning in brimstone. So be it then. Let me be something that you would truly be repulsed by. You brought this on yourselves. You looked back as Sodom burned.
Man, he really is insufferable. You did perfect.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Would you like to read his part in an interview with him?
Oh shit, we've got. Oh wait, we've got an interview with him.
Yep, I'll do the
Fuck yeah.
viewer.
Okay.
All right. Interviewer, Agent Miller. Interviewee, -1. Opening statement. Agent Miller has been stationed in the town of Redacted, Utah, which has been deemed at risk of 2547 manifestation event. Manifestation event occurred at June 12th, 2015. Agent Miller has been given 4.5 grams of amber and to last him for 3 months. He presented the gift to 2547-1, but requested information in lieu of water. Begin log.
Oh, how beautiful! And look there, a fly caught in the midst.
How fitting given our situation.
Ah, a sense of humor. Oh, I like you. Uh, let me just caress your face with my paws. I'm gonna kiss you. Mwah. No? Very well then. Now your water.
I happen to be well stocked in water for now, as it happens.
Hunting you. Perhaps it was good I didn't have you after all. You might have a little too much of me in you for me to properly to for me to for oh no, I think I'm having a stroke. Why does my brain just break sometimes while I'm voice acting?
It's okay. He's speaking a little weird.
You might have a little too much of me in you for me to be properly in you. It seems, pardon my pun, of course, I would have been highly embarrassed, but what boon do you seek of me?
I'd like to know more about you, what you want, why you do this, who you are.
Oh no. Oh no, this is a long one. This is a long one. Three questions. Oh, you do know your myths. How delicious. What do I want? Has anyone ever dreamed of you, my beautiful man? I'll bet they have. If so, you'd never wanted to stop. Now, why do I do this? To put it in your terms, I'm upping my publicity, of course, yes, very good. The myth field has been taken over by hacks and milk toasts. I'd like my old hunting grounds to myself, but you can't spread legends the way you used to, not anymore. Nope, nope, they don't spread like they used to. So my approach has had to be unorthodox as to who I am. Your kind knows me, all right? You know who I am. Not in the bits that do all your numbers and lines, but the parts of you that paint and sing and fucking leap. Fuck. A lot of fuck. Just all of the fuck. I am yours as you are mine. You know who I am, gorgeous man. All you have to do is look. Just look. Just look. It's right in front of you. I promise.
-1 tried to get it in his pants multiple times. Oh my goodness.
I really like sex.
I think the fact that the guy was so dealt with the -1 weirdly turned -1 on, and I'm not sure how I feel. -1
Listen. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
-1 refused to respond to any further questions and left. 18 days later, Agent Miller tried to get more information, but 2547 refused to engage in conversation on any subject except propositioning Agent Miller. He still wanted to sleep with him. Oh my.
Why? Why is this goddamn coyote so horny?
Maybe he's just horny for Agent Miller. I mean, it sounds like he slept with other people, but it sounds like in this case he just wanted Miller.
You see, that Miller fellow? Great guy, great guy. I'd invite him to my den anytime, anywhere. I love Agent Miller. Well, best man I've ever met.
This feels like this SCP is kind of like if the coyote from mythology turned into a cell, and it's kind of hilarious, but also dangerous. Following Agent Miller's return, Protocol Desert Grassroots was enacted, which consists of many faceted multimedia campaign to produce narratives that involve SCP-2547-1 entity in some way. Projects created by Desert Grassroots include a series of children's books centered around modern retelling of Southwestern Native American myths and legends, a common street art design depicting a coyote wearing a leather jacket and sunglasses, using a crucifix as a pipe, an internet meme template character in advice animal format called Kinky Coyote, of course. A television show called Angels of Dust featuring an antagonistic cult with hedonistic beliefs led by a man calling himself La Trans. An interactive fiction game focusing around a pilot called sign Coyote 1 stranded in an unfamiliar planet after his ship crashed in a desert. Modern surrealist art exhibit at Boston Isabella Gardner Museum, which conveys a candid man hybrid's conversation in an odd religion. Ah, not that, sorry. The pieces are done entirely in wire sculptures and taxidermy. A collaboration album between alternate music Redacted, frontman of alternative folk band Redacted, and rap artist Redacted. The album makes repeated references to an entity called Canis, who represents their primal desires and fears which they must constantly push down and ignore in order to be civilized humans. Following implementation of Protocol Desert Grassroots, SCP-2547 manifestation events have decreased in the frequency by 30%, but Dash 1 no longer appears to accept stories as payment during events, resulting in a 15% increase in the average number of additions to SCP-2547 per manifestation. Was he really that pissed by Agent Miller not sleeping with him?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, he was. This is a nice guy coyote. He's gonna drop into your DMs with creepy asterisks roleplay.
Oh my
Oh, he
gosh,
would.
bookworm clipped. This SCP is really horny.
Well, he is.
He is very horny.
So I'm gonna say cities for this because it is attacking cities and taking away their water, which is
Well,
deadly.
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. It's talking about rural towns,
Ah,
which tend to have
ah.
significantly lower populations. We need a town tier.
Add a new tier.
Town tier. Everyone princess. Uh
Alright, so that's where it's probably gonna go.
yeah. This is just odd. This is odd.
Yeah.
I guess that this is like someone like taking a bit of Native American folklore that I'm not aware of and bringing it to modern day in the most internet fueled way possible.
Well, in a lot of Native American coyotes, while he isn't Jesus and he isn't horny, he does act as an antagonist or protagonist. He does good things, he does bad things. He is a trickster, and sometimes he does stupid things, sometimes he does smart things.
That sounds like
He technically
Loki.
he technically even pops up in some Eskimo lore.
So,
Sorry, Inuit lore.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that?
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. So Hatchet, the next one is short as well as there's the only thing is it's just a bunch of redacted dates.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. But otherwise it's short. Which is I could have sworn I just saw ...
I'll be frank. After doing my like trash Donald Trump impression
Ah,
and playing the role of a fucking uh incel coyote, I think my brain is not in the position to read this right now.
alright, I guess I'll take your place.
Oh yeah, you can take my place, all right. Why did I turn British? Oh yes, this is the life.
Unless we get Bookworm to read it.
The fuck? What? What? Just get text to speech to read it now?
Just Bookworm text a speech.
The Trump to British pipeline. Gross. Come to think of it, the British royal family is German, and Trump's German. Ugh.
I'm also part German.
Ah!
I'm also part German, but
I
my
am too.
my family
Yeah.
member is awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually part every single country in Europe.
Yeah.
Interesting information. Anyways,
Also, this is the picture. It's just
that's
it's
what
just a
Google gave me.
it's just a picture. It's just like a brochure picture of a family walking around in their backyard.
Yes. Oh my god,
Okay.
Brooke. Yeah. Anyways, I could have sworn I just saw ... aka SCP-2551. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2551 is to be remotely monitored at all times by a permanent staff of at least 10 surveillance personnel trained to identify 2551 induction events. Simultaneously, the Letty algorithm, a piece of software trained to identify recognition and induction events based on facial and bodily cues. For further information, including rate of success, version history, and source code, see Appendix 2551-D. Is to be run on all feeds at all times. Facial recognition software is to record images of all individuals entering or leaving 2551 for matching to an identification of -1 instances. If an induction event is identified either by personnel or by algorithm, the associated individual is to be intercepted before leaving 2551. Method of interception is arbitrary, but must invoke breaking the individual's line of sight. For example, see Appendix 2551-C. Under no circumstances is 2551 to be continuously empty of people for more than 12 hours. In the event that 2551 has been continuously empty for more than 8 hours, at least 10 individuals not familiar with the effect, local residents are to be encouraged to participate where possible, otherwise D-class personnel may be used in emergency situations. All but one local surveillance staff are to be self-administer amnestics and do as instructed. Are to enter 2551 and patrol the space until it is declared safe by a member of staff with level 4 or higher security clearance. Large gatherings of people, including but not limited to festivals, parades, outdoor markets, public performances, and protests, are to be prevented from taking place in 2551 without preventing access altogether. High-profile individuals such as politicians and performers are to be prevented from entering 2551 where possible. All local calls to emergency services are to be passively monitored. on the occasion of a report matching the description of an instance of 2551-1. The call is to be traced with an instance contained with appropriate distribution of Class C amnestics to witness destruction of any physical evidence of the effect. I think we did. Yeah, we already described Class C amnestics. Do we need to describe it again?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay. Alright. Contained instances of 2551-1 are to be processed on a case-by-case basis. For details, see Appendix 2551-A. Alright. Description: 2551 is an urban plaza known locally as Redacted Square in the city of Redacted. Interviews with local residents and testimonies of on-site personnel show that individuals within 2551 display an above-average likelihood of misrecognition of passing individuals as acquaintances, also known as recognition events, usually as intimate friends or family, but occasionally as peers or well-known public figures. Recognition usually occurs as peripheral vision only, being dispelled upon direct inspection. In approximately 0.5% of recognition events, the affected individual will stop what they're doing and follow the misrecognized individual, the induction events. Their response is entirely impulsive and involuntary. If distracted in some way before leaving 2551, the individual will resume normal behavior with no memory of the incident. If the individual exits 2551 and is not under direct active surveillance, they will vanish. They will reappear between 12 and 36 hours later, usually in their own home, as an instance of -1. Individuals have never been observed between disappearing from 2551 and reappearing as -1 and have no memory of where they were during this time. -1 are physically and psychologically identical versions of individuals affected by 2551 induction events, differing only in that they are unable to be acknowledged as human by other living creatures. They are often described as unnatural, inhuman, artificial, or wrong. When pressed for details, the eyes, skin, or bodily portions are most often identified as appearing different, despite being measurably identical to before being affected. The effect extends to direct communication of -1, e.g., voice, handwriting, answer recordings, e.g., photographs or videos, but not to indirect communication, text typed on a computer, or automated measurements facial recognition software. Instances of -1 are not immune to their own effect and will typically reject their own body. The resulting dysphoria has been observed to cause severe emotional distress. If 2551 is empty for a prolonged period of time, it will demanifest from its current location and manifest in another similar location elsewhere. This is known to have happened on 3 occasions. On each occasion, it is relocated to a larger, more populous area. Despite over 25 years of research, the mechanism of action of 2551's effects remains unknown, and no progress has been made in curing -1, preventing induction events from occurring or causing the effect to demanifest without manifesting elsewhere. The following has been ascertained. Recognition and induction events occur more frequently in poor visibility conditions, rain, fog, and darkness. Recognition and induction events occur more frequently in crowded conditions. Some individuals are significantly more susceptible to the effect than others. If an individual is successful and intercepted from an induction event, the probability of the same individual being affected by another induction event within the next 6 months is approximately 65%. Individuals affected by induction events are statistically more likely to show introverted and depressive traits. The individual who is misrecognized in an induction event has consistently proven to be completely unanomalous and to bear a general resemblance to an individual they are mistaken for. Interception of induction events does not appear to affect rate of future recognition or induction events. Frequency of recognition and induction events does not appear to significantly increasing or decreasing over time. Similarity with 2551 does not confer any immunity or resistance to its effect. Appendix 2551-A processing of -1 instances due to the number of instances distress caused by the effect and inability of rehabilitation. -1 instances have proven difficult to process in an effective, humane manner. Over 25 years of containment, there have been 6 different site directors overseeing 2551, each of whom has advocated different procedures. The current procedure, created with the aid of the Ethics Committee, is as follows. Contained instances are to be debriefed on the nature of 2551's effects, including its permanence. Permanence? Yeah, they are then to be offered voluntary euthanasia, with a period of 24 hours given to each to reach a decision. Those who choose not to be euthanized are to be stored in a standard humanoid containment cells in Site 22. They are to be provided with loose-fitting clothing capable of concealing the entire body, and are not to be exposed to reflective surfaces. -1 instances comprising former Foundation employees, and at the site director's discretion, other contained instances may be assigned clerical work requiring no greater than level 1 security clearance. There are currently 79-1 instances in containment. Appendix 2551-B Incident Log. Redacted 2551 effect discovered in town of Redacted. Effect located at St. Redacted near the center of the town. Containment established, all civilian excluded from 2551 under the pretext of emergency roadworks. Containment lost. Effect lost after approximately 24 hours of 2551 being empty. Effect located to Redacted in the city of Redacted. Containment established, all civilians excluded from 2551 under the pretext of terrorist threat. Containment lost. Effect lost after approximately 12 hours of 2551 being empty. Effect located to Redacted in the city of Redacted. Containment established, all civilians excluded from 2051 under the pretext of quarantine of an infectious disease. 2551 populated entirely with D-class personnel, allowed to freely enter and exit 2551 via one exit leading only to temporary D-class barracks. Containment loss. Effect lost at approximately 96 hours of 2551 being populated only by D-class personnel. Effect located to Redacted Square in the city of Redacted. Containment established under current special containment procedures. The T algorithm is instated. Proportion of induction events identified increased by more than 35%. At Redacted local time, all on-site surveillance personnel simultaneously affected by an induction event being found as -1 12 hours later. Personnel all report seeing and following Dr. Redacted out of the main entrance. Site director at the time. To date, this remains the only known instance of 2551's effect, affecting multiple persons at once, or operating outside the bounds of 2551 itself. Containment re-established. So this is a very fucked SCP.
Yeah.
Yeah. But simultaneously, it's very fucked, but it doesn't affect too many people.
Yeah, it just gives people. I assume it's called body dysphoria.
Morphia, I think.
It's this is something completely different from body dysmorphia.
Okay.
I thought body dysmorphia was basically like you don't feel like you're in your own body and you have a lot of issues
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, it just says dysphoria in general. So.
Oh,
If I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly, dysmorphia basically features a person's uh a person perceiving things about their body that isn't the case. So
Mm.
like someone with uh dysmorphia surrounding their weight would view themselves as being extremely fat, even if they're in actuality
yeah.
fairly slim. This isn't doing that. This is just making them perceive themselves as not human.
Yeah, like Bookworm says, we're gonna just put in, it makes people not feel not human.
Yeah,
Which
I realized it was different after Bright said it just gives dysphoria.
Yeah. Although simultaneously, this is a little odd because this SCP simultaneously ends up sounding similar to Therians and other kin, but it's very different
Yeah.
because this is like explicitly always comes with the worst of side effects.
Bookworm had the same thought.
Yeah.
So, do we put, like, certain group?
I'd put it in certain group.
Yeah,
It
certain groups
primarily
make sense.
what do you want? It
Cat wants
primar
their opinion heard. They're opinionated.
Festus, do you agree with certain group? I don't know what that means, bro. I still don't understand your language. I'm not gonna lie, about half of that article, I just cannot remember because I'm getting like so drained.
Should we just end it here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I could explain what happened in it, but I don't think it'll soak if Bright
Look, we only
didn't
have
soak.
5 left in this
eh.
group.
Dude, what?
Let's hit introverted and depressed people and distractions don't seem to save them as much more. Yeah. Alright. So now
Knock over my shit. Why are you such a menace?
because fuck you.
Uh, right, we can see all this in Discord.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Well, I'm just rating random people I haven't met yet.
No.
Oh, that I've followed, apparently.
None of the people you already know are currently on.
Well, they are, but I want to raid people I haven't met before. So I'm not just raiding the same people over and over and over and over and over again. But I don't.
Okay.
You mean like what you do with me?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Bookworm, what's your last words? And like before, since I haven't chatted with him, that's the right words. I know Bookworm's going to put bird. I know that fucking thing. I know you're going to do that.
Yeah, no shit.
Alright. Fuck off. Twitch, spell check. That's their fucking name. Fuck off. Yeah, apparently the next SCP is duckweed.
I guess that's for next week. And the only thing I need to do before I finish this art of Radler that will be My
Like, comment,
dreaming
subscribe, and follow
avatar
Bright for more
is
ranking
just
the uncontained
finished coloring
SCPs.
this fucking
Give her money or else
soda.
we'll send you into the square that gives you bad human dysphoria.
Oh my god, Book. That's fucked.
What?
Basically, their last sentence was, "Give her money, or else we'll send you into the square that gives you bad human dysphoria."
No. No, I actually understood what Bright was saying, even if I misunderstood what it meant. As in, I was fully listening and I did not miss the things. I just misunderstood it.
Yeah, anyway, Jerry, what's your last words?
Do not wish anyone into that SCP. Do not wish anyone into that SCP. That is a mean SCP.
Bookworm, good old extortion.
Oh,
Oh my.
extortion.
Yeah, Hatchet, last words, go.
Give me a sec. I got distracted by something. My brain's not all here.
Gotcha.
Where, where the hell? Who the hell? What the hell am I?
Are you okay?
Hey,
Yeah,
you
I
good?
think I'm. I think I'm all right. My brain's not all here, but I'm.
You sound
Oh, I
like you
forgot to
just
ask
had some.
Apollo for their last words since they're here. Usually I do Hatchet last.
Shitbag.
I'm sorry, I forgot Apollo was here.
Right, they may be quiet, but they're still here.
Is Apollo? Are you still here? What the hell? Where the? Why the hell? Where the hell? How the hell? Bookworm. Does Apollo have last words?
I'd assume silence means no.
Yeah, I guess so. Cause they haven't said anything. They pass out?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Or
Could
maybe
be.
they're AFK.
Ah, true.
Also possibly.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess Hatchet, you go ahead and do your last words then.
They are having the voice thing, so they might not be able to speak that much.
Ah.
Yeah.
Your last words, Hatchet?
Oh, right. My last words are. Oh, what was I? I don't know why this just drained me so much.
Yeah.
It's okay. It started with the incel coyote.
Hey, Bright, what time is it?
12:49 a.m. my
I'll
time.
make you dance, meat puppet! You're a joke to me! Anyway,
Oh my god.
again, I have to interrupt when I do it.
Okay. Read out it's a lot of you. Kind of like how it took me out the very first SCP. I just had you guys read SCPs for a bit. 'Cause I needed the break from that long bitch. Anyways.
Ugh.
Alright. Anyways, Danger Noodles. We're rating this person. Be nice to them. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time, our next mission. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Beware the incel coyote who wants sexual
Uh,
favors from pretty people.
Danger Noodles will now be transported into the Meat Puppet universe. Bye.
What?
I don't know what that means.